to choose another way. You can't predict your fate. It's just how it's meant to be. This is where the world's collide. This is where we kill the light. This is where we realize. This is where we realize. No sleep, no fear, different point of view. It's here, it's now, what we wanna do. Don't have all the answers, but we don't care. I thought the answer was in front of me, but it was just a dream. And all the pain it made me see. I thought I had to choose another way. You can't predict your fate. How it's meant to be. This is what I want to have. This is what we can have. This is where we realize. This is where we catch the war. Catch the war. not sure when he'll be home. Get into trouble on my own. I don't get lonely. Ooh, he wants the suburbs where school's out for summer. Yeah, we live by his mother. I keep my drugs in the cupboard 'cause I'm only sweet when I'm high. 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 I'm only sweet when I'm high.
Hi everyone and welcome to the Hi-Rez Community Art Show. We're back. We're sexier than ever. Oh, guess the lights are on. Hi everybody, it's me, your girl, your favorite mom, your sexiest mom. You know, some people say. And joining me for the first time ever, please give a warm welcome to Jacey. Hi Jacey, hello,
Hi.
how are you, my
Hi,
love?
Anna. It's good to see you. I'm really happy to be on the show.
Thank you for being here. I know you're a big fan of community art. You've been following it for a long time. You work with some community, some great community artists. I know you do.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited that you're here to see what we're all about.
Yeah, it's really awesome to be here. I've been a fan of the show for a little bit, and I love looking at people's art, so I'm ready to talk about it.
Well, cheers to that with our very fancy glassware. Ching, ching. Yeah, I'll make the noise. Ding. And let's get right into it, guys. Let's hop into the artwork, all right? This is what we're here for.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
other shenanigans.
Nothing
just
else.
art. So let's get
Nothing
into
else,
it.
Only art.
Only art. No, nothing else. Only art. That should be our
Very serious art things
Yeah.
here going on.
That should be our motto. All right, guys, let's hop into it. Let's go. Number 1, we've got our lovely Spaghetti COS cause.
Oh,
And this is our baby boy, our Loki. Oh my god, he's so cute. I
those
love him.
eyes.
Now, you know what this is in reference to, right? The cat
Yeah,
meme.
the cat. Yes, the cat meme going
The
like.
classic. I love it so much, and I don't know. I saw this on Twitter, and I was wondering like who are the gods that are yelling at Loki? I don't know if they specified on their Twitter, but who would you want to be yelling
I
at?
don't know. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are yelling at Loki mains these days, right?
true.
So, I mean, it could be Zeus. It could be.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god. All right. Well, to Bag of Tea, thank you so much for this piece. We love it. We'd love to see the continuation of the meme with whatever god you want yelling at Loki. Moving on to number 2, we've got from one of our favorites, Bomi Danuki. And I've noticed that they are obsessed with Dansaburo. They love him. They love him.
Awesome.
Oh, look at him. He's so cute. He's having a little octopus.
I'm really loving like the rendering of the fur
Yeah, same.
and the octopus.
I think the textures are insane on the octopus too, and just his
Yeah.
little face. He's just like, "Hey, what's up?"
Like, hey man, you want to get some sushi?
Yeah, this makes me want sushi actually.
Yeah, no, I might get sushi. So,
Yeah.
honestly.
So let's go get some sushi.
But yeah,
Oh.
no, I love the lighting of the piece and just like the eyes are just captivating.
They're so goopy.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Oh, great job! Thank you so much, Bomi Danuki or Bomin, at the bottom there for this amazing Dansaburo piece. Let's move on to the third wonderful piece that we have, and it's a concept. And I don't know about you, you've seen the show, you know how crazy I go for concepts. They're some of my favorites, and we have so many creative concept artists in the community. So this one is by Saibi15, who has given us amazing work in the past, and this is their version of Kleena, Shadow Acolyte. Kleena. Kleena. Yes. How do you
Yeah.
say it, JC?
Kleena.
Kleena.
Kleena is the name.
Mr. Kleena.
Yes. I really love this concept. I know Kleena could have some more skins in her repertoire and like super edgy.
Yeah, it's really good to see because she is such a versatile god because she's like
Yeah.
so creepy, but you know there's so many things that we could do with her that would be really cool, and I just really love this type of vibe that she's given her or that they've given her, like the tentacles at the bottom. Are those made of shadow? Are they real? You know, just so many opportunities, so many possibilities.
I'm loving the fit. I'm loving just like like all the belts.
Yeah, I like the I guess shroud you would call it of teeth in front of
Yeah,
her
yeah.
eyes. I like that. Big fan. Thank you so much to Saibi15. It's good to see you again, baby. Moving on to the next one. This one's really exciting, y'all, because as you guys know, we have DKO running rampant. Everybody's been playing it, everybody's been enjoying it, and we've all put so much of our love into that game. And we have our first DKO fan art.
Oh, awesome.
And it's
That's
not just fan art.
exciting.
It's concept.
Oh, snap.
Yes, this is by
Oh.
Dead Muertos, and it's a Fallen Star soul skin. Look how cool that is.
That would be so dope to have in the game,
Yeah.
honestly.
And thinking about all the effects that we can use with it, it's
Yes.
very reminiscent of like that Nox. I think it was Nox skin that we had in Smite that had like a whole galaxy in her chest or something.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or
That's
a fallen
so
star or something.
awesome.
But it's very similar to that, and that could be like swirling inside of her suit.
Yeah, I love the swirliness in her chest there.
Yeah.
Like that could be a really cool effect, like on her torso there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I always love galaxy skins. I have such a soft spot for space stuff.
do, yeah.
So, yeah, it would be cool and just like have her like instead of just like doing fire, it's more like galaxy like
Yeah.
orbs or something.
Like bursts of energy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because that's like I think the only thing that can really exist.
In
Energy,
space.
clouds, and yeah, all of that. But amazing work, and thank you so much, Dead Muertos, for this beautiful piece. And oh, guess what? We have a second DKO concept.
Oh my gosh.
We're so lucky.
That is so awesome.
We're so lucky. And this is by I Am Shiny CM, another babe, another absolute babe in the community. They do amazing work as well. And this is Darn Tootin' Susanoo.
Ha.
Look at this. He's adorable.
I love his hat.
Oh, I know.
That is so big. It's so great. And the pink boots.
Yeah. I have to say, I really like the color combination. I love pink on a man, and I think this is great. The colors are so good, and the cute little blue gun.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's amazing. I hope the DKO team is watching this, because we need to get like a little darn tootin' and a soul, a celestial soul.
We need like a Western battle pass, honestly, on DKO.
Yes,
So,
please.
and we need to put this skin on there immediately.
Yeah, forefront. Everybody's got big hats. This is a 10 gallon.
Everybody has hats.
Everybody has
and
hats.
boots required.
Thank you so much. I'm Shiny CM for the darn tootin' Susano, and we're so excited that we're getting DKO fan art because it's adorable, and why not?
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one, we've got a really, really cool piece. I love things that are like the background's fully fledged out and it's a lot of action happening. I love those type of pieces. And this next one is by Lolly Doodles. I want to say Lolly Doodles. She's coming up. They're coming up. There it is. Yes. And this is Cuchulainn and Bellona fighting Medusa and Horus? Yes.
Yes.
It looks like Horus.
Yes.
Yes. And they're fighting. Isn't that cool?
That is really cool. I really love the depth of field going on here, where it's just focusing on the two characters fighting. It looks like it makes me want to like have a SMITE anime, honestly.
Oh my god, please. Please SMITE anime. That would be amazing. I do like the combination of Cuchulainn and Bellona. Bellona we see a lot of, and Cuchulainn, Zell got one of our community artists I'm sure you've seen. They're obsessed with Cuchulainn. They draw them so well. So I love to see him in this style with Bellona. And the background's great, taken from the map.
It's wonderful.
Looking good. Like, yeah, I love this. A little mid-action piece.
Yeah, having a piece like in action like that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Just getting a whole thing, telling of the story, you know.
Yeah, and it's hard to draw. Like, don't get me wrong. It's hard to draw mid-action figures and stuff like that. It gets frustrating. But they did an amazing job. Thank you so much, Lolly Doodles. Moving on to this next one, we've got a very summery and wonderful piece. It'll make you want to sit on a beach so bad with a hairy monkey man. I'll tell you that. And this one, who doesn't want to do that? This next one is by Little Lycoi. I want to make sure I say that correctly. And this is Apollo and Sun Wukong hanging out and judging Jingwei and Danzaburo in the background. They're having a little too much fun.
It's great. Like with the SMITE anime, this is the beach episode basically for Wukong.
Oh my god, SMITE beach volleyball anime when?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Oh, I'd love it. And okay, so on this show, we've been a little like thirsty, and I just love how hairy they made Sun Wukong.
Oh, I know, and him putting on the sunblock.
I know. It's like, ooh, what y'all doing? Why are you putting on sunblock? Like sunblock
add
with
him
hair?
in Dream Deities, you know?
Oh my god, actually I need to.
Yeah, we need to add him.
I need to build the lineup. Oh my gosh. Anyway, love this piece so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Little Lycoi. I'm sorry if I'm butchering names. I butcher names left and right here. Next piece that we have is a really cool little icon by Rad Robot, and it's of our very bulky, badass babe, Terra. Look at her. I love
That's
it.
great.
That's such a good icon too. The readability is great if it's small, you know. The lines, I love lines. I'm a sucker for harsh lines.
Yeah, line art is amazing. Cell shading going on in the shadows, great. It's such a good icon.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I love Terra. I don't know if we get a lot of Terra fan art, but I like her a lot.
Nice to see her get some love.
Yeah, exactly. I just loved her kit when she came out. I thought she was like really cool. Just this big, just Geb babe. I love it so much. Let's make a Terra skin for Geb.
Oh, yes,
like the colors and stuff.
That would be great.
Like a bunch of vines and everything around him. I love it. Thank you so much, Rad Robot, and we hope to see more icon style work from you. If, tag us on Twitter. You know what you do. You know what to do, honey. Moving on to this next piece. We have this gorgeous little combination, this very nice union of Gilgamesh and Ishtar by Shadow Stormy. A very good Valentine's piece.
Amazing.
Isn't this cute?
So cute.
I love it. Oh my gosh. And it's such a hard pose to draw.
It
holding
really
somebody.
is. I love the legs and the feet. Like, you really nailed that.
Yeah.
I love, like, it's just such a good pose. Like, having two characters interact and drawing them interacting is so hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you have to have a really good understanding of anatomy. So
Yeah.
it's just, like, really, really good pose, honestly.
I think I actively try to avoid drawing two people kissing because it just,
Yeah.
it'll look like a mess. I can't do it. But the softness in their expression and how sweet they look for two very badass characters that are typically
for
very
real.
daunting. It's nice to
It's
see
nice to see a
soft.
tender moment for, like,
Yeah.
these, for the daddy and mommy characters.
Yeah. Oh my God, mommy all day. I see y'all. I see y'all on Twitter.
Yeah.
Don't think I don't. At 3 a.m. scrolling through and all this Ishtar nonsense. It's not nonsense. Keep posting it, please, and tag me.
Keep letting or stepping on you.
Yes, please. Tag me personally, my personal Twitter, not Hi-Rez Art Show. They monitor that one. So anyway, great job, Shadow Stormy. Thank you so much for this Valentine's piece. We love it so much. And moving on, guys, we made it to our 10th pick, our pick of the show. And this is by Art Sai. And it's the sweetest, like literally the softest, most adorable piece of hell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, her two versions, creating the iconic hand heart that so many people do.
Beautiful.
Isn't this so beautiful? I love it.
Yeah, it's just so, like, light and just really, like, sort of gives me, like, a magical girl feel.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like those photo booth places that you can go and get like all
with
these
all the
really-
filters.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Art Sai. That was our top pick. Oh, I think we also have one more. We have an honorable mention, actually.
This is exciting.
Yeah, if we can pop that on the screen, possibly. All right, let me go back to that. We actually have an honorable mention, and it is Web of Fate Arachne. This amazing.
Oh my God, no.
This amazing pixel art that you did. JC
It's not even,
created this.
it's sort of a whip, but
No, it's amazing. It's so good. Like, you guys, obviously, you're seeing this. We have a new Arachne skin where she's like big boss babe. And I can tell you right now, it is such a difficult concept. Our girl Jasmine knocked it out of the park, and then JC knocked this pixel art out of the park.
yeah, thank you.
What was your process? Because I get so frustrated with pixel art. This looks so good.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of pixel art here and there, and we decided to do like sort of a boss battle pass, and I was like, you know what, I'm really big fan of retro games, and I really wanted to do like a pixel art version of like these skins because it's really awesome. I just sort of referenced like Arachne in the client, and just sort of it was a lot of legs to figure out, but
And the readability is there, mind
thank
you.
you.
For how many legs and the fact that it has to be such a simple design.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's coming to a SMITE game Twitter near you.
Yay! So please look out for that.
Yeah.
And everybody, we don't have any challenges or anything coming up, but just please keep posting your amazing artwork. I hope everybody had a wonderful Valentine's Day. Thank you, JC, for being here. If you want to tell everybody where they can find you, whether it's on the Twitter sphere, on SMITE, or on anything, please let them know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, thank you for having me on the show. I've really enjoyed it. You can find me at JaceyRobins at Twitter, JACEY Robins. I'm on the content team at Hi-Rez, so anything you see on YouTube, Twitter, like videos, I usually am a part of them, and it's honestly a blast. And I hope you guys enjoy all the silly memes we make all the time that get
And
posted
guys,
on Twitter.
You guys do such a good job, honestly.
Yeah.
You guys are like the bread and butter of like the type of humor I love. But thank you so much, JC, for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been a wonderful, beautiful post-Valentine's Day show. We love you guys very much, and we hope that you had a great Valentine's Day, and I hope you got to smooch a special someone. I know I did. We love you guys. Keep drawing, keep being amazing. I love you, and you look nice today. Okay, bye.
Thank you so much.
I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight.
Hello, friends, and welcome to another SMITE update show. This is the 10.2, the King of the Manticores update show, and the second update of our first season of Year 10, the Season of Monsters. For those that don't know me, I am Titan Dandy, happy to be here, joined by two of my amazing cohorts, of whom you've seen before. We have Aggro and Lermy. Welcome to the show, y'all.
What
Hey.
up? Finally patch notes time.
Finally, patch notes
and this is a
time.
fun one.
It is.
Yeah, we got a lot to go on here, so these are going to be my commiserates for the whole show, so I hope you like the way they look. I do. They're going to be helping us get through all of the cool stuff that we have going on today, because there's a lot more Magic the Gathering, another new god, 2 updates, 2 new gods. Don't get used to it, but it is happening right now, and we're super excited about it, so I mean, I'm pumped. Are y'all guys ready to get into it?
I can't wait. There's a lot of
So
really good
ready.
stuff in this patch. I mean, the next update in the Season of Monsters we knew was going to be really exciting, and I think the players are going to be really excited for it.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. Well, let's dive right into it. As always, we have some balance to talk about to start, and we're going to start on the map. We're going to talk about Conquest and some of the changes that are happening there. So let's talk about the Titans. I hear they're getting just it looks like the change might have already happened. It's just a reminder, or explain.
Yeah, exactly. So this has actually been happening in all of your Conquest games. The Titans have had this cleave attack, this more AoE attack that has been on the map since 10.1, but it was just left out of patch notes. You might not have noticed because patch notes were still absolutely enormous and
Crazy.
15 hours long. But this has been happening, but now just more official. Now everyone knows for sure.
The writing is on
That
the
is
wall
intended.
or on the blog, I guess. But yeah, so that is happening. So please don't blame us. You saw how long the last one was. I left and then took a nap on the floor. It was crazy. Anyway, so moving on. Fire Giant, not Surtur. Other one. The map one now. Fire Giant's having some changes. What's going on there?
Yeah, so with the Fire Giant in 10.1, we noticed how there were a little bit of difficulties placing certain abilities and using them on the Fire Giant to confirm them. So we wanted to make sure that that was going to be a little bit easier for you guys. So now there is a spot in the center of the pit that is completely impassable, just acts like a wall, but it's going to make it a lot easier for you guys to place abilities there instead. So while you can't have that very center of the circle to play around in, it'll make it a lot easier to actually use abilities when the Fire Giant is there. So that's going to make it a little bit better, especially for warding as well. Your wards aren't going to get eaten up either, because you can't place wards in walls. I mean, come on.
Exactly. All right, well, cool. So the neighbor of the Fire Giant, the Pyromancer, looks like they might be showing up on the map just a little early, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So it has been Pyromancer spawning at 10 minutes now in that right side mid-Harpy camp from the Order side of the map. But we just felt like Solo Lane wanted to get involved a little bit sooner on the map than that 10-minute mark. You know, there's plenty to do right now in Solo between the coup and the cooldown buff and the blue buff and the roaming Harpies and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of times you ended up just only staying in your 1v1 Solo Lane a little bit too long. Now with the Pyromancer spawning a little bit earlier at 7 minutes, we're hoping that teams will start to focus their attention a little bit more on that solo side a little bit earlier and allow the Solo Laner to rotate and be a little bit more impactful a little bit earlier in the match.
Makes sense. Yeah, that bomb is incredibly impactful. It's been really fun to learn to use. Yeah, so super excited to see that that's getting online a little earlier. So next up, looks like we have the Mana Camp getting a few changes.
Yeah, so this is just a really small one. So in previous seasons, when the blue buff holder was really only one satyr, its kind of special power or ability was that it could summon little ghost minions. But now that the camp is always 3 little guys, there's no real reason to have that, really, because it's just more minions to kill. It becomes a little bit swarmy. You know, if you're not hitting them, you're taking a lot of damage. So now we're just getting rid of that ability and making it that you'll only ever be fighting 3 things at once in the blue camp.
So no ghosts. All right,
No
cool.
ghosts.
No ghosts. Got it. All right, so next up, another change to a camp, the health camp, getting a little bit of touch-up.
Yeah, green buff. I mean, we know that supports have to move a little bit out of their lane in order to get towards this green buff, and we want to encourage that type of play style. You know, making sure you're in the right spot at the right time is a big part of playing support in Smite. But we wanted to make it feel a little bit better and more worth your while to go and pick up this green buff. And supports historically, you know, we need to be wary of how much MP5 they are getting in their early, you know, starter item and in their first item, because they need to stay out on the map for a good amount of time.
Yeah, get those abilities
need that
out,
MP5.
of course.
Now picking up the green buff will now provide you with 10 MP5 in order to help you spam those abilities a little bit more often on your rotations.
Got it. Looking for good engages, good picks. I love it. All right. And last but not least on the map, it looks like the totem, our brand new totem, is having a little bit of maybe a shape down.
Yeah, this is really just, it was very large on release. And
Real
so
big.
it was
Real
hard to
big.
see through. It was a little bit difficult to see, who's winning because you kind of just have a lot more space to look at to kind of get those measurements. So it's actually going to just be smaller. The actual size around it, the hitbox, not changed at all.
Nope.
It's just the actual visual that you're looking at. It's just going to be a little bit smaller.
little
Just a
smaller.
little bit.
Fun fact, this does confirm that the totem is a pufferfish, and if you scare it, it will get big again, so be careful.
Yeah, don't be mean. It'll
Yeah,
get
just
bigger.
don't be mean. So that does it for the map. But of course, there are items to talk about. Now, I know
yeah.
there are a lot of hot ticket items, and we'll get to some of those in just a second. But we're starting off with a few nerfs, and specifically Druid Stone, the good old tier 1.
Yeah, so when looking at a lot of what the new tank item trees are building and,
Yeah.
Into the stones, into the prophetic cloak, things like that, we just got the feedback that Druid Stone was a little bit too cost efficient for what it was giving, and
Got
Cloak
it.
1 was pretty weak in comparison. Felt like it was the right call to bring Druid Stone down in its cost effectiveness, so we'll just be going up in price. Probably not the best way for me to word that. Now going to be a little bit more expensive, from
gonna
600 to
cost more.
650. And then the tier 2 will be what gets the gold change. The tier 3 items in the Druid Stone tree will remain exactly the same.
The same.
So it's just if you're buying tier 1, tier 2, you'll notice that it's a little bit more expensive. The overall cost of the item itself is going to stay the same.
Okay, got it. All right, well, good to know. And following that, Stone of Binding, also a bit of a nerf.
Yeah, so
So-
we were seeing this item a lot, right? And especially with the, change to that Stone of Binding to actually make it a tier 3.
Yep.
The way that we were noticing that this was getting picked up was in a lot of aggressive support builds. And we were just seeing several of these bought in
Yeah.
one game. And, when that sort of thing happens, then we're like, okay, we need to take a closer look into this. And so we did. And overall, we noticed that it was doing, a bit too much in terms of really shredding people, especially with characters that had multiple ways to proc this, taking the proc and making it kind of omnipresent as well, made it a little bit more easy to apply, but dangerous at the same time, right? So
Yeah.
it feels so much better to use, but it was a little bit too strong, right? So we got to take back that debuff just a little bit so that when you buy it in the early game, it's not doing as much. It's going to be really based on how far in the game you are. So again, it's a little bit worse in the beginning, but again, the more levels that you have, the better it's going to be for you.
Yeah, we hear the community feedback that tank item damage is high.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be the only change that you see in that area, and this is just the easiest way to make sure that binding is worse throughout the game. I think it'll still be valuable on gods that use it well,
Yeah,
but
of course.
you've got to be a little bit more purposeful, and you won't be dealing quite as much damage losing the 5 protection debuff there.
Got it. All right. And like you said, we're being very intentional, trying to listen to the community, and one that everybody's been talking about because it's just been a real troublemaker, a real rugrat the last week or
Sure
so, if not
has.
more.
Yeah.
We have Contagion. Obviously, there's a lot to go over here, so just please dive into it. What's the slap on the wrist for Contagion?
Wow.
Little more than a slap,
Yeah, I
we
was
hope,
gonna say.
for
Prison-
Contagion.
it's a prison
So
sentence.
first of all, losing 10 damage on each tick. So remember, this is ticking 5 times.
Yeah,
losing
of
10
course.
is losing 50 damage, which is
Yeah.
obviously a lot. We really ran into a lot of issues where this item was able to be multi-stacked very
Yeah,
quickly,
it
where
was.
you could all of a sudden I have 2 Contagion procs on me, Lermy's got 2 Contagion procs on her. Now we're getting hit by 4 Contagion procs, back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
And it's going to stack up that damage really quickly. So we did make some changes in order to make it so that a player could only have 1 damaging Contagion aura on them at a time. So
Got
if you
it.
have the debuff on you and you're pulsing damage and you CC the person with Contagion again, it should just refresh that to 5 seconds instead of adding a second stack of Contagion.
Got it.
We also changed the rate at which the ticks were dealing damage. So before, when you CC'd someone, you would instantly take a tick of Contagion damage,
Got
and then it would pulse. So it would pulse at 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that is 5 seconds of pulsing, but it isn't super clear. Doesn't give you an opportunity to realize what's happening to you. So we did change it so that it's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of 0 through 4. So
Got
same
it.
amount of
Okay.
ticks, just giving you a little bit of extra time and more clarity there. We are still looking into some known issues here on Contagion, just as a heads up to the community, where sometimes, especially on refreshed auras, you'll still hear you won't hear the audio pulse anymore.
Okay.
That's going out, and sometimes there will be an extra visual pulse. None of those are, we're dealing damage properly in all cases that we know of. If you find any bugs, please let us know. But we are aware of some visual and audio bugs that we're looking to clean up as soon as we can.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, again, as everybody knows, Contagion has really been this point of contention for the past week, 2 weeks. Time is blurry in a construct, but it's been a lot. But I know that y'all guys have been working on it. We hear all of y'all's feedback. We see all the hilarious plays that have been made out of 5 stacking those. And it was funny while it lasted, but definitely not intentional. So we're obviously keeping working on it and keep letting us know as you see things with Contagion and with anything else, because that's how we learn and get things fixed.
Yep.
So cool. That was a massive block in this. Let's move on to Prophetic Cloak, also getting kind of a shifty nerf.
Yeah, so we've been seeing a lot of these items, and
Yes.
people have really been enjoying the little mini game of running around and
I
trading
love
procs.
It's
I
so
It's
good.
so much
inting
fun.
Charging it
stacks,
up,
man.
it's so good.
fun.
But we have noticed that this item is incredibly popular, incredibly strong. So we wanted to kind of give it a little bit of love, but also a little bit of saying, you're maybe a little bit too good,
Yeah,
right?
just calm
So
down.
a lot of the contention around this item has been how fast can you actually stack this item? And so, before the item actually gets fully stacked, it's okay, right? It's not that good, but
Right.
once you get it fully stacked, then you're living the life, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So until that point, we wanted to make sure that it was a little bit easier to stack, but the rewards that you're getting for stacking it, just not as much. So the actual changes that we've done here are decreasing the internal cooldown from 10 to 8. And what that's going to do is, again, making it easier, quicker to stack. But we're also going to be changing the evolved version then to decrease its actual protections that it's giving you.
Right.
And so additionally, to clarify this, the intended change from the normal to the evolved version is to gain extra protections.
Correct.
However, now you're gaining significantly less, 15 less of each.
Yep.
So that's an overall 30 prot nerf
Lot
to
of
make it
lots.
a little bit easier to stack. So that is
Yeah.
a pretty significant change in terms of your overall total protections. And remember, to gain the mitigation, you need to have above a certain threshold of protection. So it's going to need even more protections from other items to actually make that part useful.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the big thing for Prophetic is we've seen that it is very, very strong in the right situations and in the right player's hands. But if a player doesn't stack it well, then they're going to end up seeing it be significantly less effective. So making it a little bit easier and more consistent to stack. We still want it to be difficult. We still want it to be something that is a conscious choice that you're making around the map. For an item effect this powerful, it needs to warp your playstyle a little bit. But we are, at least I am pretty happy with the gameplay style that it encourages of
It's
being
so
more
fun.
aggressive,
Yeah.
getting up in your enemy's face, playing to stack it in a pretty unique way. I think that loop has been very successful.
Mhm.
But the top end was clearly a little bit too strong. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on Prophetic.
Yeah.
We know that passive is very strong. We know the mitigation interactions are very strong. And we've got some more things on,
Yeah, we're
on
getting there, don't
mitigation
worry.
to go. So this is not the only thing. But we think that this is a good way to make it a little bit easier to get to the more fun part, and then making sure that the more fun part of the evolved item isn't quite as strong.
busted. Yeah. And again, it's all about getting this item a conscious effort instead of, I'll pick it up because it's the best item in the game and it just needs to be a part of every build. Like, it's still viable, but it has to be part of a conscious build. So
Yep.
I think that's a good goal. So next up, Sigil of the Old Guard, having a couple things changed about it as well.
Yeah, mitigation. Remember the
Mitigation.
thing I
Yeah,
was
we,
just saying,
just
we've
like,
been
2 seconds ago?
watching that so
Yeah.
closely.
Yeah, look, we've been on top of this mitigation build for sure. I mean,
top of it.
we had a lot of discussion about this mitigation build and what it does and its impact and all that kind of stuff. And we do clearly think that it was a little stronger than we had intended. And Prophetic is obviously a huge part of that.
Yeah.
But Sigil is, for just one item slot, going to provide so much damage mitigation and so much sustain that we felt like this was kind of flying under the radar potentially in some players' eyes as the big core issue, more so than a slow item that takes a long time and certain gods do well and certain gods don't.
Yeah.
Sigil is just, if you get to 20 and slam this upgrade, your tankiness just skyrockets.
next level.
Shoots through the roof without any type of real conscious decision making during the game. So we're decreasing the base mitigation by 2%, and then the mitigation per stack by 1%. And you can get up to 3 stacks of that damage mitigation. So it's overall losing 5% damage mitigation.
Got it.
5% might not seem like a ton, but it will make a big difference in terms of how much damage you're actually dealing to these targets. And then also the healing that was built into this, I think, was really not on its face the most powerful thing this item was doing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't have any type of internal cooldown. So if I get hit by 3 abilities, I'm getting healed for 3% pretty much instantly for
right off
each
the
of
top.
those. And that's very, very strong. Players aren't really understanding they need to potentially build anti-heal against sigil users. We don't want that knowledge barrier to be the success gate of the item.
Yeah.
So I think that we're happy that sigil is stronger than it has been in the past. Finally, it's been how long that for people to start buying sigil. It needed some sort of sustain in order to get it there, we think. We don't want its primary identity is not as a sustain item.
Yeah.
We don't want this to be an item that you
Exactly.
need to build anti-heal against or you're being shut down. So we think that between 5% mitigation off and a significant heal cut, sigil should be a lot more manageable to play against.
Awesome. Well, yeah, sounds like a lot, but again, tanks came out of the gate really roaring 10-1, so we're just trying to bring things back in line a little. So moving down, Berserker Shield looks like some of the passive just being nerfed a little bit.
Yeah, and again, another mitigation item.
Another
But one thing that you'll
mitigation.
notice about the two things that we just had on our list that we talked about were they're late game items.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
items that you don't see until like level 20 or so.
Yep.
So we wanted to make sure that we were also covering our bases a little bit towards the early game, especially for those, arena players or joust players that get to this point a lot faster than you would in Conquest.
Yeah.
This is one of those items that you will just slam into a build if you're able to, because it's just going to keep you alive in a lot of situations that you would almost always die in. So I feel like, because we've gone to take a little bit off of here, 5% on that passive, it's going to at least even out that curve quite a bit and make sure that, again, the top end, when you combine it with all those other things, is not as insane as it was before.
In total, for the mitigation build that everyone's running, Sigil, Berserkers, Prophetic,
Oni Hunters, yeah.
Spirit, all that, you are losing 10% damage mitigation and 30 prots across the entire build.
Yeah.
A very significant nerf.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to be keeping our eye on it. We want to make sure that is not going to be this big frustration point for the community, these super tanky guardians and warriors and things like that. But we do think that it's good that these tanks can feel tanky late as long as they aren't also dealing too much damage.
Exactly.
I think that there is a middle ground that we can find there. It's going to take some tuning for sure. I don't know that who knows when we'll be able to hit it, but I'm feeling optimistic that late game tanks can feel tankier than they have in seasons past while not raising their threat level a whole lot and making it feel more fair to play as and play against.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of the tank dream. Dealing damage is fun, but as a Guardian player, I like that I don't die quickly so that I can get in there and be disruptive so that I can protect my laners or disrupt theirs. So looking forward to that. But this game has been around for 10 years, and would you imagine that does not solve problems? You really got to sit down. It's math. It's a lot of math. It's horrifying. So, but y'all, I know y'all will keep at it. So next up, Crusher, another kind of shift nerf going into Crusher.
Yeah, Crusher, we just felt like, we're happy with the change to make it more late game oriented than early game oriented. It feels a little bit more smooth in the early game to just, you don't have to have this big drenched in sweat moment where it's between Jotuns and Brawlers and Crusher and, new Shadow Drinker and all that kind of stuff. We like its new late game identity.
Yeah.
It is pretty, Assassins in general have been very strong.
Yeah,
and we have definitely been seeing a lot of feedback and stats about that. But this items did feel very prohibitively expensive at times. So we wanted to bring down the cost, but also bring down its actual numbers and effectiveness. So just a little bit of power off. And then the big thing, of course, is losing some scaling on the passive. But still think that with its competitive stat line and just making sure that you're dealing maximum damage with your abilities come late, Crusher will still have a pretty solid spot.
Awesome. Awesome. So we have one more big nerf to talk about, and that's Heartseeker, also getting nerfed.
Yeah, so again, Assassins, very
Good.
strong right now.
Very
Currently,
strong.
really good. If you're jungle, you're probably having a great time. Everybody else?
What a
Ooh,
surprise.
not
Who
so
would have guessed that
much.
jungle is good?
It's
Every
crazy.
patch ever?
Unbelievable.
Something like that.
Anyway, though, one thing that we want to talk about here is between Heartseeker and Crusher, they're both items that have big bonus damage procs, right?
Yes.
And so one thing that we were noticing between these two items and Bluestone is that you are just trying to grab as many proc items as you can and blow someone up instantly, which for squishies, not very fun. I'm not gonna lie, not the most fun gameplay to
Not
play against.
enjoyable.
And so to deal with that, we are going to decrease the damage that you're dealing against low max HP targets. So that's your squishies, right?
Yep.
From 3% to 2%. But again, it will still scale to 6% for high max HP targets. So your tanks, you're still going to be doing a lot of damage to them. But squishies, just not as much damage against them. So overall, trying to make sure that you're not blowing up the squishies right away with your Crusher, Heartseeker, Bluestone, whatever it is procs.
They
but
probably still will.
Yeah.
They've got.
they'll still take a
Little
lot
bit.
of damage. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, but you're not going to be one-shotting them per
Exactly.
se.
Yeah, don't try to face tank as a squishy, but like you
No.
know, if you're trying to dodge, odds are you'll be a little better off. So.
Exactly.
Well, cool. So that does it for nerfs, but there are buffs to the item scale as
Woo.
well. So let's get into some
Love
of those. Starting with Horn Shard, looks like a little bit of a fix almost.
Yeah, really just a text fix.
Just a text fix, okay.
This item has, since its launch in 10.1, been doubly as effective as described. Instead of getting 0.5 seconds off your cooldowns every second for 3
Pulse, yeah.
seconds, it's been a full second. So it's really been 0.5, to be more specific, it's been 0.5 every 0.5 instead of every second, which is what it was initially listed as.
Got it.
So now the description will be more accurate. It's not going to be any different than what you've been playing with. It's just the same amount of strength. We discussed making it match the description, but no one, everyone's been playing with it
Yeah.
and feeling like it's okay, but not the strongest. People think it's okay as is.
Yeah.
Why
We're
make
just
it
gonna
any
leave
worse?
it. Why mess with
So,
it?
Yeah.
excited to see how much this changes perception.
Yeah, I was about to say this
I
is
wonder
a,
what it's going to do to its pick rate.
it's a perception buff.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
interested to
In
see.
every sense of the word.
Well, if you see it getting nerfed in the bonus, then you'll know how well it did. So next up, Kinsai also getting a buff.
Yes, we've heard you loud and clear, hunters. We know
We've
that
been
it's
listening.
been very difficult to deal with tanks, and so hopefully we're going to give you a little bit of help here with some Chinsai buff with 5% more attack speed, and we're also increasing that bonus damage against those tanky targets that are a little bit tougher to chew through this time around. So
Yes.
giving you a little bit of help there because we see it.
Yes.
We see it. Next up, the mysterious boomerang. How do they work? The bladed boomerang specifically getting a buff, being a little stronger, I guess. So yeah, get into it.
Yeah, just wanted to make this item a little bit better in the earlier stages of the game.
Got it.
So decrease cost, increase attack speed. But the big one here, I think, is making those deployables, those boomerangs coming back to you,
Yeah.
more easy to pick up.
Okay.
So they should be, without bogging everyone down with all the numbers, it should be roughly 50% closer to you when it drops. It's still a random
That's a lot.
angle in which it could come out.
Yeah.
And then the distance is controlled. So it should be a little less wide, the cone, and it should be spawning a little bit closer to you. So just easier to keep that buff uptime, because we really think that for our players who can maintain their focus of hitting their autos and picking up the boomerangs all at the same time,
Yeah.
you can stack a very potent buff and become a very strong duelist with this item. This can be a really strong dueling item in lane,
Yeah.
but it needs to be a little bit more consistent and easier to execute on than where it launched. So hopefully this gives hunters an exciting, second item or so
Yeah.
to go and enhance their boxing potential in lane, and then have that chin size buff there in order to help deal damage to tanks. If you want to split your crit and chins build, you can do so if you want to.
Got it. All right. Well, sounds good. A little easier to catch a boomerang.
Yep.
I remember having one of those as a kid. It never came back. So
That's a stick.
Yeah. Well, no, it was like all right. It was like a Cracker Barrel boomerang. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's go to Chronos Pendant. So the bling getting a little bit of a buff.
Yeah, so we've been seeing a lot of interesting mage builds coming, especially with Tablet
True.
of Destinies, getting a bit of a buff as well. But we've been seeing a lot of these proc items and not so much of these other more core items. So instead of really pushing people away from those items in particular, we want to try and see what giving them more options looks
Yeah.
like, to see if they would like to rather purchase something else instead. So Chronos Pendant is one of those items that's incredibly core for a lot of players in Smite, that they just really
True.
love this
They love
item, love the passive, just think it's incredibly fun. So we want to
is.
see,
It is.
if we give it a little bit of a bump in power, is it going to compete with these other items? Will we actually see it being built? I really hope so, because I think this item is really, really fun, and it would be awesome to get more of them.
Yeah, mages have become more of a topic of conversation over the last few days
Yeah.
than when we initially wrote the patch notes. So we'll definitely be
We're keeping an eye.
we're keeping an eye on mages and what their build path looks like and all that kind of stuff. But for now, hopefully Chronos Pendant can tempt some people to change up the build order and the build path in general.
Got it. Awesome. Hey, always good to see some diversity in the build path. Next up, the Brawler's Beatstick getting a little bit of a buff as well, it looks like.
Yeah, this one, all the anti-heal items got new passives and
Yeah.
subsequently
lot.
cost changes in 10.1. brawlers. We've heard the feedback that this passive addition didn't feel strong enough to warrant the cost increase that it got. It became pretty expensive. So we're kind of doing a little bit of both, where we are decreasing the cost by 100 gold and also increasing the actual new component of this item at the same time.
Yeah.
So now the zone where you gain power after you kill someone is going from 10 to 20 power, so it should be a stronger area in which to fight, and also fix the text to let you know exactly how long that buff field lasts.
Got it. Awesome. So this just started burning a hole in my chest. I didn't mention the update notes are live right now because we were talking about a lot of numbers and percentages. So if you want to follow along, make sure to go check that out.
Yeah.
A lot of you already know that because you're smart and well informed, but I have to say it because I work hard on those. So I work hard on it's a joint effort. So I just make sure it tries to look nice. So anyway, those are live now. Make sure to check it out. But anyway, looks like we're kind of climbing up the item tree back to a tier 1 with the cloak getting a little bit of a buff.
Yeah, so these next few are going to be about the supports and
Yes.
even some solo laners, some items coming up. But we
Yeah.
talked about this a little bit earlier with Cloak. This tier 1 compared to the Stone tier 1, just not really on the
Didn't
same
balance
page.
out.
A little
No.
bit of stat discrepancy there. So this is kind of the opposite of what we did with the Stone, where we're decreasing the tier 1 cost, increasing the tier 2 cost, but the ultimate tier 3 cost of everything else is going to stay the same.
Yep.
So it's really just making the tier 1 a little bit cheaper to compensate for its worse stats in comparison to the Stone.
Sure, you got to pull one back, push one forward, and then hope that they meet somewhere in the middle. So
Yep.
awesome. Well, continuing down the line, we have Cannoneer's Cuirass.
Sure. Yeah,
Sure.
One of those.
I still have not nailed down how to pronounce that.
So yeah,
I'm
it's
the one
getting-
who wrote
it's-
it initially.
The Cannon Dude shirt is getting
Yeah,
buffed. so-
Cannoneers is what I call it for shorthand. Yeah, so just a cost decrease. You know, this item has certainly been overshadowed by the Prophetic Rush
Yeah.
and Thebes still being a very strong option to start. We want to see if just making this a very cheap starting option for supports allows them to influence other people's gold gains.
Yeah.
You know, make sure that them coming to split your wave feels less like a negative and more like a, oh, nice, I got 25 extra gold.
Yeah.
For each wave. So we'll see how this plays out with just a nice little cost decrease.
This is a big cost decrease, I would say.
Yeah, that's true.
150.
150,
sheesh.
especially for a first item. Like
That's true.
150 gold is not created equally between a sixth item and a,
Yeah,
and a
and
first
the first
item. You know,
item for
first item
sure.
is where it's really, really important.
Mhm.
So this is we think that this will be pretty impactful.
Awesome. Well, I'll be excited to see it popping up as a first item in some builds, hopefully.
Here's hoping.
So next up, Dawnbringer. The dawn is brought a little brighter, I guess. I don't know. It's getting a buff too. I'm trying to be funny.
Yeah, this is another item that we were hoping to see a little bit more of, and so again, we kind of were wondering, are the stats not good? No, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
The passive not good? No, it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Everything else though, the cost, maybe a little bit
Expensive.
prohibitive.
Yeah.
A little too
a
expensive
little too
for
much
the builds.
dollars.
So we're going to be taking it down 200 gold, which again, a lot.
That's
So
a
I'd
lot.
love to be seeing a little bit more of these. We want to really know if this is going to make Dawnbringer one of those really fun items that you engage a team fight with, and then you get to go fast. I mean, that sounds pretty fun.
That does sound fun. And it has really cool item art, so, not opposed to seeing it around
10 out of
anyway.
10.
It's
just
pretty.
really good looking. So next up, Absolution, also getting a buff.
Yeah, a lot of you might notice that people might have gotten scared when we said this is the section for buffing supports and warriors,
Yeah.
but all very defensive oriented
Yes.
things.
Yes.
Absolution is gaining a little bit more magical protection and some more CCR. This item has a very potentially impactful passive,
Yeah.
but it is not always the easiest to apply in the right
Mhm.
moment. We don't think that this item will necessarily be core on all builds all the time, but we want it to be an item that when you realize, oh, they have an Ares alt or a Nox combo or a Fenrir alt, and I can use this passive in order to cleanse my teammate out of these very impactful CCs,
Yeah.
that you're feeling good about buying it at the same time, that it isn't just I have to,
Yeah, I got
it's that I get to. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
hopefully Absolution gets a little bit more play after that.
Cool. Awesome. And so we are down to one more buff in the item tree, and that's Phalanx getting a buff.
Yeah, Phalanx has been a really interesting case because
been.
the buff that it can provide to minions is really, really strong.
Strong.
The item itself, maybe not so much.
Sure.
So to compensate for that, we're going to be giving it 5 more physical protections to make it even better in lane against your physical compatriots over in the solo lane, or if you're playing against a double physical duo lane, maybe an option there as well.
True.
And then giving it an extra 50 health. So that'll just keep you a little bit healthier, a little bit more protected, and hopefully protect your minions as well.
Awesome. Well, that does it for the items. So that was cool. Lots of good changes, trying to bring Contagion back into the realm of not being every other Twitter post on the timeline. So lots of good stuff. Again, as we get into PTS and 10.2, let us know what y'all see. But that's not all for balance. We have gods we got to get into.
We got more.
And yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. So how about Ao Kuang? Looks like a little bit of a nerf.
Yeah, it's the era of Ao Kuang buffs has officially come to a close.
Yeah, this is the stop.
Everyone realizing that Ao Kuang on the new map with some new items, feeling very impactful.
Yeah.
Just walking back, one of the more recent changes that we've done on Wild Storm increased its scaling not too long ago. Now bringing it back, still has all those other buffs to try and get him in the right zone where before he went from like basically unplayed to one of the top bans in ranks.
Yeah, that was crazy to see, by the way. Just
very
the
quickly.
change between 9-12 to 10-1 ban rate, Ao Kuang going from like actually the bottom to #1 banned in all of ranked. That was crazy to see.
Yeah, that really does not happen very often.
No,
that
not
isn't
at
like
all.
a new god being released into ranked for the first time. So we're going to be keeping our eye on Ao Kuang, but we think this will do a good amount to bring him back to a more acceptable state.
Yeah, bring it back to that happy medium.
Yep.
So cool. Next up, Hebo also getting a nerf.
Yeah, this is just another one of those magical junglers that you see
Yeah.
every so often where, especially in this new interesting meta where it's a lot of grouping things up, Hubwad does very good at clearing a lot of things very quickly because he's got such a low cooldown on his abilities, and Water Spout was one of those ones that's like, you're poking from pretty far away, you're
Yeah.
doing a lot of damage with it, you're clearing really well with it. What don't you do with this ability, So it's got to come down a little bit, taking that base damage down to help with the clear, taking the scaling down a bit to help with the poke, altogether a little bit worse for our little water guy.
Our little water guy, shout out. All right, so Discordia coming up next, actually getting a buff. Discordia getting a little stronger.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what this does to Disco. I mean, this is a god that's always been like good but
So
not
close.
great.
Yeah,
Really, really
yeah,
close
right on
to
the
being
edge.
good.
This might be the one. The cooldown on the 3, that's your survivability.
Yeah.
Going from 15 to 13 at all ranks is a very big deal. And then
Oh,
the
yeah.
ultimate just didn't quite hit hard enough, especially on that initial hit. Being so backloaded, having the majority of the damage come from the explosion rather than the initial hit
Yeah.
has made this ability feel really unique to play against and has a good differentiator between it and a lot of other burst damage mage ultimates, which we
Yeah.
really like. But it could use a little bit more on that front end. So just a good amount of scaling on that. 10% is pretty solid, and just a little bit of base damage as well. And I think that I'm going to be playing some Discordia.
Yeah,
come next week,
Discordia is
let me
going
tell
to
you
be
that.
Really
the
excited.
playtime's going up now.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, next up we have Geb also getting a buff.
Oh, poor little Gib.
Poor little,
Poor little Geb.
Poor little rock
Just
friend.
one of the lowest clear guardians in our roster.
Oh, yeah.
By quite a large margin, I might argue. So he's getting a little bit of help there. To where his cooldown is going to be a little bit lower, so you can slam the wave a little bit more often, and you're doing a bit more damage to it. So, hopefully he will be able to participate in the laning phase instead of just being a spectator.
Yeah, instead of just,
He is the
Yeah.
Earth, but
Yeah, it's like, good luck
Yeah.
clearing this wave. I'm out of here, by the way.
yeah, later.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so Tsukuyomi also riding the buff train, it looks like.
Yeah, just needing a little bit more damage, for a meta that seems to really favor ability-focused assassins.
Yeah.
If Tsukuyomi isn't up there, that's probably an indicator that it isn't anything else holding him back besides his own individual damage numbers. So we went pretty light. We know how easily it can be tipped over the scales for Tsukuyomi.
True.
But really wanting to reward those players who are particularly accurate with the ultimate
Yeah.
and with the 1. So the 1, Dark Moon Shuriken, gets 10 base damage, helps us clear as well. And then the scaling per dash hit goes up by 5%. So
Yes. Got it.
that's potentially a 20% scaling buff if you hit all 4 beams on the same target. That
Yeah,
you'll
if
dash
you're
on them 4
landing it.
times. So this it'll be pretty substantial, I think, if you're piloting Tsukuyomi well.
yeah,
Awesome,
gotta
yeah.
be hitting him though.
Got to be hitting them.
Gotta be hitting them. I mean, as somebody who doesn't play a ton of assassins, that ult is still just so fun to use. Even
Oh,
if you
it's
hit
so
one
fun.
person, you're
One
like,
of my favorites.
got
in
him.
the game. Yep.
So cool. Jingwei also seeing a bit of a buff here.
Yeah, this is another one of our low pressure dual lane gods who's getting
Yeah.
a little bit of love here, just in the clear really. So what we're doing is increasing the damage per tick. So this is not the initial hit. It's for anything sitting in it. So it's not
Yep.
really going to be gods. That's
Got
mostly
it.
minions that are sitting in the persistent gust. So
Yeah.
that damage is going up a bit. That's going to help her clear as long as you're keeping the minions inside of the gust.
Yep.
And then taking that cooldown to actually lower it the more you rank it. So for those who are maxing it first, which you should be if you're playing Jingwei.
I hope so.
You're going to have that extra 2 seconds once you get to that rank 5 moment, and it's going to feel really good.
Nice, awesome.
It's going to help transition her a little bit.
Yeah, kind of bring them back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, which I guess is good for Jingwei because the flying and the So, one more buff on our god list here. We have Chernobog also getting a buff.
Yeah, Chernobog, a god that we've seen come in and out of the meta fairly frequently at a high level in particular, but we just felt like the mana costs on his kit were in general a little bit too high. This is a god that sometimes felt like you were forced to be building Transcendence, but he's not really a traditional
He's not really.
ability hunter that
Yeah,
wants to be building Transcendence. It's still good on him, but in general felt like he was maybe a little bit too reliant on the MP5 and the mana that it was providing. So just clean mana cost decreases on a couple things. And then in particular, the dash cooldown, still scaling to the same point. We know that his late game is particularly strong.
Yeah.
You know, because you can use your dash, get up in your ultimate, fly down, have your dash ready to go again. We didn't want to bring that bottom end or that the max rank cooldown down a whole lot more.
Yeah.
So that's staying the same. It's just instead of 18 to 14, 16 to 14, making him a little bit safer during the laning phase.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that does it for our balance for this time around. So a lot of good things coming, a lot of changes down the pipeline. So again, you'll be able to test these out in PTS and see them in live next week, something that I've always enjoyed saying ever since we started changing that. So beautiful to hear. But yeah, that does it for balance. And now we got some news to talk about. So let's talk about some news. Starting off with some merch news. So for those of you that don't know, Ymir is here. And if you went to SWC, you'd have known that this beautiful little fella right here, the little Ymir plushie, is still on sale. So if you want to get them, make sure to check them out before they are gone because they are super adorable. And yes, I love that picture so much.
So cute.
So that it is absolutely incredible. What a great memory. What a great little plushie. So make sure to pick it up if you get the chance. He is my boy. He's just going to chill with me now. So we also have the VVGG hoodies. If you hadn't seen one of those, they were also on sale at SWC and are on sale online. They're just really cool hoodies. They have the VVGG on the back, SMITE right there on the front. They're actually incredible. I work for the company, and I was like, I'm going to let fans buy these before I try to get one at SWC, and I couldn't even get one because, they're that awesome. So it's one of those things where you put it on, then your friend sees it, then they buy it, and then it's a whole chain domino effect thing because it's a really great hoodie. So pick it up. I would highly recommend it. I will be doing that myself. So moving on, we have some SPL news, which always feels cool talking about after seeing SWC photos. So there's a promotion tournament next week, so make sure to get on that. But the big point here is February 22nd, which is actually really, really close, isn't it? Yeah, that's very close. So we have the play-in tournament for the SPL. Get hype. This is incredible. So many things. There are 10 competing teams, as you can see here on the screen. A double elimination bracket. The top 2 teams are qualifying for SPL. So really, we got to look at those teams. You got to start rooting for them because they're going to need you to cheer them all the way into the SPL. The broadcast will begin at 11 a.m. ET, where you'll always watch your broadcasts at a SMITE game on Twitch. So super awesome for y'all to watch. And just get excited for it because that is going to be a really, really incredible tournament. There's going to be a lot of talent going on over that 4-day period, 22nd through 26th. So again, make sure you're ready for it because it is going to be hype. It's one of those glue yourself to your seat and stare. You might want to get some of the glasses that block out blue light so your eyes don't shrivel up like raisins. But cool. Anyway, so that does it for our news. We have some cool cosmetics to talk about and some events coming up in 10.2, starting with, and this is very interesting, this is super new, something that we're calling the Mythical Market. So that
sounds fun.
It's very fun. It's very, very fun. So the Mythical Market is something we've never done before, and it's a new store opening that's going to have an individual twist for each different person that looks at it. So there's a lot of text on the screen. Again, this is all on the patch notes if you want to go read that as well, because there's a lot of it. But essentially what this is there will be a bundle that everybody gets to see, and it's going to have some very fun bee-themed things. We have a Jingwei skin, which we'll show you all in just a second, as well as an avatar and a fountain skin. But this will also have a very cool bundle that is specifically designed for each different person looking at it. So as you look at your bundle, you will see something that, in theory, will reflect a character you like to play or a role you like to play and give you an option of some new cosmetic items for that. And we have a screenshot of what the market should look like. But again, it will have a bundle specified to who you are as a SMITE player. And you'll also have the skin, so you get a little preview of what the bee skin looks like. And we'll be showing you all that in just a second in some greater detail. But and not only will you have that bundle, but it will also be steeply discounted for you because this is your mythical market designed to catch your eyes. So this is a limited event. You'll see it on the home screen in 10.2, but this is limited. So if you see it, make sure to check it out before it's gone because all things that are good do not last forever. So again, watch out for the mythical market coming with 10.2. But, I mean, y'all just saw a preview of the skin, and I think it's time that we show y'all what that skin looks like, and that would be Bumblebee Jingwei.
Oh,
So-
my
So
goodness.
adorable.
Look at the little bees. Okay, I guess they're not little.
Yeah,
they're pretty big.
Yeah, they're
Chonky.
pretty big.
They're
Some chonky bees.
chonky.
Are those like the whole thing like bees aren't they by all laws of nature bees shouldn't be able to fly? Like I don't even know if that's true. Number one. Number two, I know these things shouldn't be able to fly. Like
No.
the wing to body ratio is just there's no way.
It's a little skewed, but they are super, super adorable. So, ooh, and here's our
Oh.
new turnarounds. So we have a brand new turnaround. Oh, I love them. All the cinematic angles.
Yeah, very cool. And it's
Look
looking
at-
great.
Yeah, look at the design. All right, her wings look a little small for flight too. So
Maybe a little.
She makes it work. I mean, she'll figure it
It's
out.
so stylish, though. I love the like
was-
puffer jacket.
yeah,
doubt.
it is really stylish.
That is a sick puffer jacket. I would wear that for sure.
True. About to caught me the bee puffer jacket.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear a voice line.
What's all the buzz about?
The buzz. I get it. Cool. I'm a sucker for simple jokes like that. All right, so we figure such a cool skin. Might as well see it in game real quick, you know, part of the mythical market event, a brand new event, a cool new skin. So let's just see what these hi. Let's see what these abilities look like.
This'll help.
Oh, I mean, of course,
Oh,
you know
that's
it's
so
got to
cute.
have a little honeycomb action there for the one, but it still looks awesome.
A little
It
globs of
does. I
honey.
love all the bee
Yep.
theming.
Oh, that's great. Oh, and the buff on her as well. That's really cute. Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
She's like,
See, she doesn't need bigger wings than that. They're
No.
working just fine.
Yeah, works just fine for her. So awesome.
ooh.
Very cool.
That's sick.
I love the texture, like the honeycomb texture for the ultimate is exactly what I was hoping for, and it's like absolutely perfect. It's just awesome.
That looks so cool,
I
man.
agree. I am a big honey/bee/honeycomb stan. I know some people, and I learned this recently. Some people that actually like freaks them out and is not great for them. So if you are
Honeycombs?
what, yeah, like the shape and the texture, I have been told that that is a thing that some people just cannot stand. So if you are in the audience and cannot stand it, I'm sorry. But otherwise, this is a really cool skin. So again, look out for it in the mythical market. But that's not all. We have more things to talk about. Starting next with actually a skin that you won't be getting for a very long time. This is not gonna. So technically, this isn't available until 11.1. So what is
my
it?
gosh.
2024. It hurts me to even say those out loud, but it's a commendation skin. We like showing y'all this in advance so that y'all know what's at stake if you are mean. So the commendation
mean.
reward, yeah, right. Don't be mean. The commendation reward is Ishtar. So let's check out Gilded Glory Ishtar.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
I'll be a good girl.
Card.
Yeah, I'll whatever you say.
Yes, ma'am.
Understood.
Yes, mommy.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Mommy, sorry. Mommy, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's incredibly epic looking, and again, the commendation reward. So not available. You're not going to see this show up on anybody's in anybody's skin roster until 11.1, which is so far away. We're just toes into year 10 right now. But the white,
That looks really nice.
it looks really, really nice.
That's so good.
And this will be available for everybody who just gets those commendations. So just play nice, you know, be a good teammate, try to be a leader, try to be a friend, and
or a guide. Any of those.
yeah,
Yeah,
any of those really.
any
So-
will do. And make sure you commend your teammates who are doing a good job. You know.
True.
Yeah, you want to give them the skin too, don't you?
Yeah, share the love. So there's a lot of rewards that can be earned via commendations, not just this skin, but this is this is the pot at the end of the rainbow, I guess. So let's have a good, fun, clean, being nice to each other year 10. Get a cool reward for it, and yeah, that's a long ways away. But either way, it's super cool, and we're super excited about it. So you know, be excited for this coming 11.1. Next up, we have a new chest coming with the next update with 10.2, and that is the Posh chest. And that comes with Sir Snooze Kumbhakarna.
Oh.
Sir Snooze.
Sir
Sir
Snooze.
Oh my goodness.
That's Sir Snooze to
That's
you.
Sir Snooze.
It's so good. I love this like skin line in general. Just obviously has some of the best voice lines in the entire game. I
no
love
doubt.
the personality and everything that they have. And I will say that playtesting and like content testing Sir Snooze Kumba is one of my favorite ones that I've done in a while. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It looks so good.
He's got the drip.
He does got the drip.
I love that jacket. We've been talking about the jackets a lot, right? But I mean, come on, look at that thing.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it would
I'm
cover
sorry.
my entire body. Like you wouldn't be able to see me in that jacket.
That's a jacket fortress for the normal, but for Sir Snooze, beautiful dinnerware.
But he rocks it, man.
He does.
He rocks
And
it.
the monocle.
Yeah.
I love these turnarounds, by the way. Like
So
they are
funny.
so dramatic. I'm
Yeah.
really
I'm sorry, the face caught me off guard.
no, it's so good. All right, let's hear a voice line.
Be well dressed, behave like a gentleman, and keep your shoes shined.
Gotta be keeping those shoes shine.
Got to keep them shoes shine, honestly. Behave like a gentleman. So yet another skin you can look out for with next week's update. So now we're going to move into some bonus content. There are more skins in 10.2, but we want to talk about the bonus patch for 10.2 first. So the first of these skins that you'll be looking out for is the Fit Check chest, which holds Techno Blaster Huyi.
Yeah, I think
Ooh.
he's passing the fit check.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, all of our skins have been so stylish. I mean, this guy's giving us some kind of party, surely.
I was about to say, and I'll be the one to say it. Okay, is it a vest or a jacket? It looks kind of like a jacket. It's really cool,
It's a
though.
jacket, and it's really cool.
And it's dope.
Yeah.
So
Can we do, like one non-cool jacket challenge? We fail it.
There has to be.
We don't.
Oops.
We stay making sick jackets. That's all we make.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Look at that bow. That's like a little turntable. He's carrying around the gems, dude. He's about to
True.
get the
This
party
skin is-
started.
This skin is sick.
It is kind of sick. Kind of loving it. I love all the colors, too. Anything with changing colors like
Yep.
that. Like, I'm a sucker for RGB,
Yep.
so I'm all about
Yeah,
it.
you're
Oh,
a real gamer.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
It's real gamer hours, and we got some RGB.
Yo, we
out
selling
here to
those joggers
represent.
though? Like those joggers are looking clean and comfy.
I
At
was
the
about to
same time.
say, tweet about it. We'll get it on the merch store. We'll try our best.
Yep.
So let's hear a voice line real quick.
Thing.
Okay.
This venue is lit. Let's do this thing.
There we go. He was nervous. It's his first time playing a show here.
Right.
So
I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
he's never been in front of an audience this big. It makes sense. But no, looking really good. And again, this will be the first of 2 new skins available with the 10.2 bonus update. The second of which will be within the Touch of Evil chest, and that's Blood Raven Horus.
no way he's got a cool jacket.
Oh, not a jacket.
No.
Yeah, it's armor.
Just a
And
breastplate,
it's cool.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I wouldn't rock that one necessarily, but I mean, I could if I was like
Yeah. If I was
going in. If I was like some type of blood raven,
yeah,
maybe
a blood-laden massive bird person. but
Yeah,
whatever,
like I
man,
would
you know?
probably do that at that point.
This
but-
is a really cool twist on Horus, though, because he's usually like a really nice guy.
yes.
He doesn't look so nice here.
No, yeah, definitely.
Oh,
it doesn't
he's
look
scary.
nicer either.
Yeah, he is. Wow, he is scary.
Definitely a departure from fun little farmer Horus. So
Yeah, you could say that again.
he's going through his goth phase.
Yeah, but it isn't a face.
Oh yeah, no, it's not.
Okay.
This is gonna go forever.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the skull on top is really cool. Like the color contrast between the dark gray and the silver and all that kind of stuff like really makes it stand out. Very, very cool.
And plus, I just can't help but call out like the way that the horse stands with the arms down and the wings up is such an imposing stance.
Yeah, he
that-
about it.
Yeah, adding that like villainous look makes it immediately look threatening.
Yep.
So super cool. Let's hear a voice line for this one.
The blood god hungers. Very well. My duty awaits.
Is he like gonna steal my soul or something?
He'll probably
well,
steal
maybe
your
going
just
on
your
here?
blood
Yeah, just your blood. You have plenty. So
for now.
Yeah, for now anyway. So again, that is going to be the second of the 2 available in the 10.2 bonus update. So look out for that. That'll be coming, I believe, March 7th. So again, eyes up. Be excited for it. But we have some new stuff coming up that we haven't talked about for 10.2 main patch, and that's more
exciting.
Magic: The Gathering. So
Round 2.
let's round 2. Before we talk about it, though, let's get into a video.
Let's do this. Go take care of them.
That's far enough.
For Kamigawa! Kneel.
I'm not done yet.
I'm just
handle this.
This land will not be tamed.
That's right, more Magic the Gathering. Are y'all excited?
So
Unbelievably
excited.
You didn't
Oh
get to
my
hear me
gosh.
gush about it on the 10.1 patch notes because I was sick. It would have gone 15 more hours from everything, but in particular, me talking about all the Magic skins. Unbelievably excited.
Yeah, well, I'm glad for it because I'm excited too, and we have a lot of cool skins to show off. So y'all have been seeing, we've been putting out teasers and showing y'all kind of what's in store over the past couple days, but now's our chance to really see them live and in action. And you know, I'm excited for it. So before we get to them, I'm just going to run over the event. It's the same event from the first patch. For those of you who weren't here to hear me say it the first time, though, just a brief synopsis is it's a Magic the Gathering event. There's going to be, obviously, all skins. We're up to 10 now with the 5 that we will be releasing here. So tons of planeswalkers and 1 creature. Don't think I don't remember. So we'll have 5 new ones coming out. We'll have another bunch of planeswalker quests as well. So make sure that you're getting in and starting those quest lines and earning those free rewards, because that is just that's a boatload, a truckload, and a handful of free things you can earn by doing all those different planeswalker quests. So, and those will all be, you know, there's the original 5, and then we'll have 5 more coming with the update next week. So, and along with the skins, which we'll be seeing in just 1 second, I'll finish talking, I promise. There's also some really cool bundles that I just wanted to highlight because these are really neat. There's a Phyrexian bundle, which is going to have a player title, a fountain skin, and a pedestal. That's cool. Haven't seen any cool pedestals in a while. So we're getting one of those, which I was just really hyped about. And then there's also the Spellslinger bundle, which is going to have a Black Lotus Ward skin, which is just, I mean, the Black Lotus is infamous amongst Magic the Gathering players.
It's not as expensive as a real Black Lotus.
That's true. This one is, yeah, you will not be put
Yet.
down payment on your house.
You know?
Yeah.
Black Lotus was not that expensive when it was first printed.
True. So we'll see. Give us several years. But yeah, so lots of cool stuff that y'all can look out for. But y'all will get in and explore the event. Just make sure to lock in those quests. I want y'all to get all your free stuff. So let's get into the skins.
All the skins have announcer packs that are unlocked in the quests. I wrote all 10 of them. Do the quests. Listen to them.
Yeah.
I think you're going to like it.
Do the quests. Earn the free stuff.
Or else I'll be sad.
Yeah,
You don't want to make aggro sad,
exactly.
do you? Come on.
You wouldn't, right?
It'd be the next show, but makeup's running and there's
They-
tissues everywhere.
They
So
wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't.
Okay.
They wrote me. They told me.
All right,
So. All right. So anyway, let's get into the skins now. To get to, we've held y'all up long enough, and we're gonna start with Teferi Chronos.
Yeah, this one, I mean,
Oh.
Teferi,
Teferi.
Time Lord, you know, just an absolute master of all-time Magic. Everyone who hates playing against blue and white is
Raising my
Teferi
hand.
is
You guys can't see
their
it, but my hand's
nemesis.
up.
But I, as a Jeskai control player, I love Teferi. And he fits so well with Chronos, because when you think of Chronos, it's time guy, number 1.
Yeah.
And number 2, he's got the big staff. Teferi's always got his staff.
The big staff.
So it just made perfect sense, and I think it turned out unbelievably well.
Yeah. I mean, this card art alone is incredible to look at. Oh, and here we have the turnaround. Again, I love it. Plus, it looks so good on like the beach with the background.
Yep. That's where he's going to be dominating, right over here.
Yeah.
In the,
Right over here.
in the long lane. Yeah.
I mean, it could be in mid. You
It
never
could be
know.
in mid. Yeah, I mean, you never know. You can put Chronos basically anywhere and have him do well, but
Well,
I think
Should
that
you?
yeah, probably. Well, right now maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
You-
he's pretty good.
The community gets to decide.
That's right.
All right, let's go ahead and hear a voice line.
Let's go, people. I'm on a strict schedule here. I'm kidding.
That's so good, actually. I'm sorry. That really caught me. The joke of a master of time being on a strict schedule just really. I mean, I get it, but that broke me a little bit. I don't know what else to say.
I did my best. You know, I was really excited to get a chance to write all the Magic voice packs. As many people know, I'm like obsessed with Magic the Gathering. And
Really? No way.
just spend all of my free time and money on it. And really want to give a big shout out to the whole team that kind of records and makes these voice packs happen, because I think that they all really brought these characters to life in a really exciting way that feels really true to their characters. And Teferi, actor whose name I forgot to write down, unfortunately, did just an unbelievable job.
On the patch notes, though, we have
Yeah,
to the
it's
very
all on the
bottom,
patch notes.
all on
Yeah,
the
please
patch
check
notes.
that
We
out.
got the voice actor names, so because we work with some really incredible people. But to continue to highlight the talents of the people around us, let's check the skin out in game and see what it looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
live and in action.
There he is.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Shout out that voice. I just want that voice actor to read me a story.
I know. Oh, the effects are just it's just such a perfect pairing here for Teferi to go to Kronos and sling all his blue spells and all that kind of stuff.
He's phasing out.
Yep.
So cool.
Phasing out, just a perfect reference. And there are so many little references and all of the effects choices and the voice lines and all that kind of stuff to various iconic cards from these characters' storied histories in Magic the Gathering that I'm excited for everyone to get a chance to find all the little Easter eggs that the team put in there.
Yeah, so absolutely incredible again, and I love how deep all of the blues are. It's just, I don't know, as always, incredible work done on these skins. But there are more to come. And even as somebody who is just on the outside of Magic knowledge, like I've played it, I'm not as knowledgeable as a lot of my coworkers, but even I have heard rumblings of the name Nicol Bolas, and Tiamat gets to take the honor of having that Planeswalker as a skin. So let's check that out.
Dude.
So cool.
I mean, come on.
That art is incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
When we first were like, yeah, I think we're going to be able to do the Magic the Gathering crossover, Nicol Bolas was like, we got to get Nicol Bolas. You know, that is, for a long time, been the premier villain in the Magic story. It's who the Gatewatch has had to go up against numerous times, and is the main villain in one of my favorite sets in Planes, which is Amonkhet. Gotta have the God Pharaoh there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and like even during my limited time of playing, this is one of the few Planeswalkers that I actually had and used, and very hard deck to construct. Tricolor is not easy,
right.
but well worth it. And oh my goodness, look at how great this looks.
The effects for this skin, literally, like I legitimately gasped the first time that Shane, the effects artist who worked on Nicol Bolas, showed me them. Like such clear references to some of his iconic cards, and it looks so good in game.
Yeah, this skin is just above and beyond. The full wings, the etching on the armor, the scales. It's just absolutely glorious. Let's go ahead and hear a voice line.
This plane shall be a nice warm-up for taking over the multiverse.
A little bit of nefarious intent.
Just a little bit. That's kind of like his thing, though.
Just a little bit. Well, I'm still ruminating on the fact that you said that you like gasped at seeing the ability effects, and how could I deprive the community of that? We have to go in game and see this as well. So let's get in there. Let's check this out live and in game. Oh, that looks so good.
Dude, the horns, the lighting on the horns, like
I was looking at the wings, how leathery they look. Like that's
yeah, the
incredible.
materials are insane on this skin. And oh, here come the effects.
Yeah, those blacked out orbs.
They look so good.
Just so cool. I believe a reference to Nicol Bolas Dragon God, one of the more recent Planeswalker printings for Bolas. Just so cool.
Summoning all the minions in.
Yes, that's my favorite one, that tornado.
So good.
Oh, doesn't that look incredible? I think that's Apex of Devastation, I believe, is the card that references, and it just turned out unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy the contrast between like there's the purple and the light blues, and then you have that really striking red against the black. It's just
gotta have all Grixis colors.
I was about to say,
red, black, and blue. That's Bolas's identity.
It just looks incredible, and you were right. This looks so good. I am super excited to see this in the games that I play. Running me down an arena probably. I don't know. So, man, just absolutely incredible.
It's a lightning bolt on the two.
Lightning bolt too. It's so cool.
Yeah, come on, give me
give me a break. I'm losing it over.
Well,
here.
actually, don't give us a break because we have three more to go.
Yeah, no, we have more to go. There are no breaks. It's we're going to continue down the train of amazing things, continuing the Magic the Gathering love with Vivian Reed Artemis.
Oh, as a mono green enjoyer.
Yeah,
I've got plenty of Vivian cards in my deck.
Yeah, Vivian, definitely one of the newer Planeswalkers to be introduced in the grand scheme of Magic's 30-year history.
Yeah.
But has very strong, clear theming on what she's about and, you know, how she wants to interact with the world around her, and is a perfect fit for Artemis, as Vivian Reed is someone who constantly summons energy replications of beasts that she's met. The Caledonian Boar is a natural fit for her.
Oh, and an excellent looking skin in game too. I love how each of these have like a. I mean, they just show off their color identity. I guess is what I was going for there. So because the strong green presence and the mono green card style is just super cool to see. I love how the characters are a reflection of the color suit they represent.
I mean, she's all about her arc bow. That's a legendary artifact. It's a huge part of her lore and is what allows her to summon these creatures. And so, Artemis, bow hunter, summons a boar for her ultimate. Like, how much more perfect could it possibly get?
Say.
You know what I mean? It's just such a slam dunk.
Do you think Tusky has trample?
Now, yeah.
Yeah, I'd argue haste as well, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're
absolutely
right.
has haste, for sure.
So, and I just have to comment on how green them eyes be, because they be green. That's
Oh, yeah.
awesome looking. All right, let's hear a voice line.
I can only imagine what types of beasts I'll encounter here.
Dude, imagine Vivian being able to summon, like, the Gold Fury through her arc bow. That's what
That
I
would be
need.
insane.
We just have to stitch a bunch of Jormungandrs together and make a Hydra.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
There you go.
Oh.
That would be sick.
But all right, so again, super cool, and like all the others, worth seeing in game, which is what we're going to do. So let's dive right on in.
Hello.
Hello.
There she is. Oh my goodness. Look at those
Yeah,
little
you know
traps.
that this really bright green is going to be everywhere in this kit, and it's just exactly what I think everyone was hoping for when Vivian Reed Artemis was initially pitched.
Yeah.
And of course, green, the Spirit Tusky is going to be making an appearance.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And it looks like the traps close up like bear traps, kind
Yeah.
of. That's really cool. I saw the like clamp.
Yep.
I love that.
That's very cool.
Them got teeth on them.
And I love the little like you can see the little explosion hit effects on the arrows where it looks like the energy is dissipating, like
Yeah.
kind of exploding like that. That's a really, really nice touch.
It is a really nice touch. And again, these greens are just so vibrant. Like that, I'd argue emerald green kind of, or
Yep.
ethereal green is just such a powerful color to look at, and to see how well it's represented throughout this kit,
Beautiful.
I'm just slack-jawed over here. I love the color green. I don't know
Yep.
what else to say. So, cool. So that is the third of 5, but that leaves 2 more to go. And the next Magic the Gathering skin that we're going to go for, I'm sorry, I'm so aghast by the green and how cool these are. I'm losing my words. We have the Wandering Emperor Mulan.
Yeah, this.
Oh no! Look at the little starter minion.
Well, he didn't need that horn.
He got a haircut. Yeah, that's
it's
what it
fine.
is.
And look, if the Wandering Emperor is doing this, it's because the imp deserved it. you
Yeah.
know?
Mhm.
As a mono white planeswalker, the Wandering Emperor is going to do what is right and what is just here for, in particular, for her home plane of Kamigawa. But this is another one of the newer characters and newer planeswalkers to join the Magic cast. Really
Yeah.
stepping to the forefront of her story in Neon Dynasty, but instantly a fan favorite just because of how incredible that plane is and how much fun that set was.
That was really, really fun.
Yeah, one of the most popular ones they've done in a long time, and for good reason, because the theming and the art and everything was just so cool. And
and
bringing the Wandering Emperor in to SMITE, as she's fairly new to showing up in the Magic story as well, I think is really, really exciting for people who are fans of one of the newer characters in Magic.
Yeah, and I mean, the skin is just, as a big Mulan player, I absolutely love this. I love the sword. I love the gold armor and how it's offset with that like white or light blue robing with the red highlight and trim. It's just overall a beautiful skin design. I mean, obviously adapted from incredible art, which is basically all that Magic the Gathering has, is just a ton of incredible art.
It's
So
true.
I'm just happy to see our team put as much effort as they do into it to make the 3D adaptation absolutely stunning. So let's hear our voice line.
Finally, I'm where I am needed. Now, let's begin.
Getting right to the beginning,
Right to the
protecting.
point. She doesn't
Yeah.
always get to be where she wants to be because, for our Magic story aficionados out there, they might understand. But overall, her Planeswalker Spark is not exactly dialed in all the time. It erratically kind of transports her around the multiverse. But that's how she became such a great sword wielder, is that she was just constantly traveling and taking down who needed to be taken down wherever she was, and then poofing off to the next plane left and right. Hopefully she can stay in the match long enough for you to complete it, though.
True, hang out. Well, awesome. Let's hop in game and see it. We have to.
Hello.
Oh, that looks so
The
sick.
robe is so awesome.
It's so, and the bow, how regal.
Yep.
I just love that sword. I think it's incredible looking.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
the gold.
Oh,
yeah, it's
I
all
like
about
that.
being able to transfer energy through her sword. That's depicted in a lot of her card arts, and it translates so well.
It
in this fight.
really does. I love like that I guess blocky effect too.
Yep.
Because I don't know what it is about that somebody who understands effects better would know, but it does emanate that aura of like transferred energy, you know.
Yep. And very reminiscent a lot of the art found on cards from her home plane of Kamigawa now in Neon Dynasty, now that it's a futuristic plane. Really fits in with that home identity for her.
Yeah, I love too on the ult during the stomp phase or where it hits the ground. I love how you see like the stone path form.
Yep.
That's really cool looking.
Yeah.
So just absolutely incredible all around. I love the like gold and the orange, the deep oranges and like white to yellow gold thing. It just, man. Oh, that was really cool too. The in
Oh,
front.
the last hit?
Yep.
Yeah, wow.
Oh. That's really okay. Cool. Well, I could stand here with my mouth open and stare at this forever, or we can move on to the last skin of the new Magic the Gathering skins. Nissa Ravain Iset. Did I say that right?
You did. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, Nissa is one of the iconic green planeswalkers. Vivian a little bit newer to the cast, as I mentioned, but Nissa's been around for a long time, part of the Gatewatch, and just an iconic character whose story has changed a little bit now with the most recent set, but you know, this is her more classic before anything terrible ended up happening to her. But yeah, we were really excited to go with a pretty unique skin here for Iset as well.
No wings.
No wings. I believe this is the first Iset skin without any wings.
You're right.
But Nissa is in particular very tuned in to each planeswalkers draw their power from ley lines within the world. And Nissa is known for her ability to really connect with the ley lines of planes that she travels to. So being so interconnected with the magic system in Magic the Gathering, it kind of made sense for her to be this magic wielding mage that is in complete control of that, and Iset is the goddess of magic in Egyptian mythology. So really think that, again, with a staff being a key part of Nissa as well, we take very seriously using these characters' weapons in the game and what they're typically depicted with. Makes sense for it to translate here into Iset's staff.
Yeah, it does. I mean, with each of these, it's been very cool to see, to have you explain what the process of finding the best one-to-one pairing was, and I just love hearing that kind of stuff.
Weapon is a big one.
Weapon is a big one. I mean, it's a big, for anybody who has to fight or protect or defend something, that is kind of a key part of the aesthetic. So, cool. Let's go ahead and hear a voice line.
This land is magnificent, but it is in pain. I must help it.
She is just my favorite planeswalker, period.
Really?
I'm a green enjoyer. So
Yeah,
to see
so I've
two
heard.
green skins in this patch, oh my gosh. I'm ecstatic.
Thoroughly enjoying. All right, well, I mean, I wouldn't deprive you of seeing this one in game as well, so we might as well. You got to get in there.
Hi.
The effects on this one as well, just absolutely crazy.
So
I should
cool.
have written down the card. I forget what card the 2 FX is referencing. I should have. It's some elemental that she's got, but I mean, how cool does this animation look of no wings? How are we gonna do wing gust? Well, she's gonna float up there with her magic and,
cast
shoot
it
it all
up.
from the staff instead of from the wings itself, which is a really cool adaptation.
Oh, and I just love like the vines and the elements of nature and all the abilities too. That is so, like, watching them whip around in that orb is just wild.
Yeah, I really should have written down exactly which elemental that was. But again, all about nature, the interconnectivity of all things, as many green planeswalkers are.
Yeah.
You really get that theming coming through really nicely with that ultimate.
I agree. It's coming together really well. And, you know, if I know anything, the show will end and you're going to immediately tweet out, oh my gosh, the card's name was. So
I know.
It'll be
It's
fun.
from before I was
Big
playing a lot
Magic
in my
fan, big Magic
defense.
fan.
Yeah, I was about to say, big Magic fan over here.
You guys are going to make me Google it right now. I'm getting mad.
Listen, I pronounced something correctly. I'm not going to give you any flack. I made it through my day.
Let's go.
So, cool. And that will do it for Magic the Gathering. So those are the 5 new Planeswalker skins that you can look forward to coming
So
with the
excited.
10.2 update next week. It's right around the corner. It's crazy. again, I'll never get tired of saying that. I'm gonna be hype every time because waiting is lame. And I mean, obviously,
to say the least.
be patient, but like, yeah, it's right
Most
around the
definitely.
corner, so don't worry about it. You're good. So there is one last thing we have to talk about on this update show.
Just one?
We're super excited about it. Y'all might have seen some trailers, a little bit of a god reveal for Martichoras, the Manticore King, and I think we're gonna lead into it with a video. So we'll see you back here in just a second.
There are no gods here. Now pray.
That is Martichoras, the Manticore, the big scary dude with the cool face and like the braids and everything.
And you haven't even seen the half of it yet.
I have not even seen the half of it yet, and neither have y'all. But we're gonna get there together, I believe. So I guess let's start how we always do. You know, I've been around Smite for a long time, not as long as some, obviously, but the Manticore has not only a very rich and very complex history throughout the larger world, as it were, but within Smite also kind of a history as well. So as we have the designing parties here, please go over kind of what brought the Manticore from its existence outside of the God selection screen to the God selection screen.
Well, the Manticore is a very special entity to a lot of us longtime Smite players. He's been around the battlefield, you might say, but never really directly on it, being present there. So really, the Manticore was initially an NPC that you would see in the training mode. And there also was a time where he would come and be the arena NPC for a while, who we eventually replaced with a Minotaur. And there he is in his glory way back in the day. He looks really good there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually didn't make any changes from there to now.
Oh my gosh! Wow, I'm
Look
sorry.
at
I'm
him
just
go.
looking at this old arena. This was an incredible time of Smite.
And the
Old Zeus too.
Yep. Old
the
Zeus
old
too.
mastery skins.
Yep. Yeah, it's been a crazy. It's year 10 for Smite. We wanted it to feel special for new players, but also for longtime players who have been with us since the beginning. And the Manticore has always been this kind of like, haha, running joke. Like we're gonna, it'll be the Manticore.
Remember him?
Remember? Yeah, the Manticore is coming out.
That YouTube video of the
The April Fool's
fake
one.
god reveal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, now he's gonna have a real god reveal.
6 years
Here he
ago, I
is.
think.
Yep.
So wow, long time.
A real one. So we were really excited to be able to give a lot of love and a lot of updating to a god that or to an entity in mythological lore that people know that have been playing Smite, but don't really know quite yet. You're gonna know the Manticore after this, I promise.
And let's talk about that a little bit, right?
Get
Because the
into it.
Manticore is a mythological creature, right?
Yep.
But where did it even come from? So the Manticore in general is a very multicultural beast. The first ever recorded information of a Manticore in general was way back in Greek and Persian times from Ctesias, who was a Greek physician serving under the, I'm going to say this wrong and I'm so sorry, the Achaemenid dynasty from Persia. So he was serving in the court, and basically he was told from hearsay of various travelers that came through the court talking about this mysterious beast that was eating people in India. And so he basically recorded all its features. That was the first actual documentation of this creature.
Wow.
And so it would talk about how manticores hunted and how they would basically stalk their prey and really be about eating humans, consuming humans for sport, and really leaving nothing behind, which is terrifying when you think about it, that this creature is now going to be consuming gods, perchance, if he can make it. But he's going to have to battle through quite a tough roster of various other mythological beings to get there. But
for sure.
A couple of other small details about why Martichoras the name. Well, Martichoras is the Persian name for the Manticore, which roughly translates to man-eater. The other word that was used in Greek was androphagos, but that would be kind of referring to like people that were cannibals, so not quite the same, not the mythological
it
creature.
didn't quite cover the same bubble, yeah.
Not necessarily under the same bracket, right? So Martichoras, Manticore, they're all the same word, but very translated from various different languages. So we wanted to make sure that we were honoring its original heritage by using the name Martichoras.
Awesome. Well, super cool, and yeah, a lot of history. Obviously, I mean, I'm not surprised by this because I've watched y'all do the work, and I'm sure many of you who watch aren't as well, but y'all do an incredible amount of work digging into the lore of each of these characters and trying to not only respect their past, but interpret and respectfully fill in the holes, because there are a lot of things out there that you can't just look up and be like, what did he look like? What color were they? How did they act? How did their breath smell? Like, you can't get all that. There's a lot of having to figure things out, and I know y'all do an incredible job of that. So, we've talked about this character a lot. You guys want to go in game, I think?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Let's go in game. Let's check Martichoras out in game.
So, there he is in all of his glory. And as you guys can see, he is big for a hunter. He's a hunter, by the way.
Yeah, that's a hunter, by the way.
That's a warrior he's basic attacking.
Yeah. Can we just have him go stand next to Odin real quick, just so we can get that nice, quick size comparison? Yeah, he's probably an Odin tall if you were to lay that Odin sideways, plus the tail, plus the wings.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. And as you can see, he's got a lot of really interesting, iconic features of Manticores, being those bat wings, scorpion tail, lion body. But he's elevated among the other Manticores, the red buff. You know, even the past Manticore, in that he's got, you know, his braids. He's got nice little bling going on in his beard as well. And that's really to give him this more elevated kingly status, because he is the Manticore king.
Yeah.
He is, you know, still a beast, but he's more regal, more proper, more calculating when it comes to how he's intimidating, consuming, devouring. He's not just going to go feral. He's going to be thinking about the process the whole way through.
Yeah, the brains of the operation. Well, that is all super cool, and we have a lot of cool kit to talk about. So let's just start out with a kit demonstration. Just throw it all at us. Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
That's so cool. All right, so a lot of things happening right there. A lot of abilities. That one being very interesting, but we're gonna be strong. We're gonna go in order. So let's start with the basic attacks, because it looks like there's more than meets the eye to these basic attacks. So let's get into it.
And as you you know, very keen-eyed viewers have seen, these are not your average hunter basic attacks. There's some dot damage on the end of there. So to start out with his basic attacks and kind of tying into his passive as well, each basic attack that Martichoras successfully connects onto an enemy, this can be any enemy, god, or minion, or otherwise,
got it.
It will be doing dot damage. And so each basic attack applies a stack of venom. The first basic attack on any target applies 4, and you can have a max of 8 at any time. So Martichoras' basic attacks deal 90% of his basic attack damage up front, and then they deal 20% basic attack damage over the next 2 seconds. And it'll take 4 times, so that's 5 each time that 0.5 seconds rolls around.
Got it.
But the next fun part about this is that each successful basic attack that you continue to hit that same target with will increase that dot damage by another venom stack. So the more venom stacks that you have on an enemy, the more damage they're taking over time, up to an additional 40% of your basic attack damage from that 20%. So you start 20 and can go up to 40% at any time, as long as you're staying within that 2-second window, reapplying basics.
That's awesome. So yeah, it really, if you're trading and you're just landing those basic attacks, you're gonna come out on top as long as you're dialing them in. So that's really cool and unique. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but unlike a lot of other hunters, the basic attack is coming from the center, from directly, you know, it's the tail over the head. So instead of being a left-handed or right-handed bow user, or you know, like Donza has the gun, like this is coming straight down the middle, which I think is relatively singular amongst hunters. Is that correct?
It depends on the character, really. Some characters go from either side. AMC is kind of one of the most famous ones for being a left-handed shooter, but this was another very unique animation challenge for us to process. Is he is shooting from his tail. He is a 4-legged beast, but he's not using any of those legs to shoot. So, you know, really making sure that these autos from his tail were feeling really awesome and really powerful was one amazing solution that our animation team came up with was, finding a way to get that tail to really be shooting quickly, especially at those high attack speeds that we know hunters are going to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's one of the big things for new hunter gods is, can we get their autos feeling right? And right is a subjective adjective, and it's
hard
also
to find
like
sometimes.
it's impossible to describe because it's different, but it's the same, but it's different for like everyone. So it's really hard to do, and a lot of times it's just going based on feel. And I think that players will really appreciate how good the basic attacks feel on Martichoras right away. Definitely something that I noticed when we first got him into playtesting was like, didn't feel like I needed to adjust my aim in order to hit the basics, which sometimes you do for some hunters. This one felt really good right out of the gate.
Awesome. I do not doubt that at all. Super cool. So let's move on to the passive, Monstrosity.
Yeah, so this passive is something that you're going to be building throughout the game.
Nice.
But as you can see, he's got a cute little passive meter with this little face on it, and it's going to be slowly filling up as you're doing various hunter actions between hitting basics, hitting abilities, and also getting kills or assists on gods and minions. It'll fill up over time, and then once you hit that threshold of 100 stacks of ferocity, you then will convert it into an attack speed stim for 6 seconds at minimum. And so another really unique thing about Martichoras' stim here is that it's not really on an ability. It's going to be kind of similar to Cullen Rage, where you're going to have to control when you're going to go into this kind of frenzied state, this monstrous state, you might even say.
Yeah.
And so you can continue to keep this basic attack stim going for up to 12 seconds by continuously attacking gods with basic attacks. So if you are hitting gods, you'll be getting an additional second from that 6 up to 12. And you will be slamming pretty quickly, I dare say.
Slamming pretty quickly. Awesome. That's really cool. And I love stuff like that, too.
Yeah,
It's the
that's
minigame.
not all, by the way.
Okay,
so each time you reach that monstrous state, you also gain a permanent stack of monstrosity. And so each stack of monstrosity that you have is worth 1% physical lifesteal and 1% physical ability lifesteal. And you can have up to 30 of these in one single game at any time. So quick math, that's 30% lifesteal and 30% ability lifesteal. So
Built in.
yeah, pretty good, I dare say.
Yeah, y'all just had to catch. Y'all can't see it, but I just did a double take at the "that's not all" because that's not all. So
it's really. I think this is one of the most unique and fun parts of the kit. Is you want to play the loop of timing your stacks, hitting the right amount, and getting your buff, and the buff feels great and looks great to use and all that kind of stuff. But you're also gaining a permanent buff from it, so it's like you're not even sad that it's over and that you have to start over. You're happy that you got your stack and you get to work towards your next stack, which is a really fun design that Laramie really came up with.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. Yeah, because it's rewarding in the immediate and it's rewarding in the long game. So gotta love a win-win situation.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So let's move on to the next. The first ability, Acid Rain.
Yeah, so as you'll see here, this is our circle that goes forward in this path, and so he's basically flinging out all of these spines from his wings, and they're raining down in sort of this acidic, venomous rain. So as you'll see, there is that circular point of damage that's doing a bit of burst, and then if you remain in that poisonous field any longer, you will be slowed and taking damage over time. But as soon as you leave the field, slow's gone, damage is gone. Just a pretty solid wave clear, and a really unique thing about this is that you can actually fire it from a distance, so it doesn't have to be right in front of you. You have a pretty solid range poke to be able to throw this from a decent distance away.
Yeah, I was about to say, that has quite the range on it. That's really cool. I just love the effect of that. Not only the ability, like I can't think of the word, the indicator of where it's going to be, because that looks really cool, but just, I don't know, the effect of the ability itself is incredible to look at. All of the like acid splotching and bubbling, the way it hits the ground.
Yeah, standing in that probably hurts a lot.
Yeah, it looks like it would.
I would recommend against it.
Especially now that there aren't any shoes on the battleground. I mean, come on. So
right on the feet.
That's an old meme. All right, so next up we have another ability called Poisoned Barb.
Yeah, so this is his 2, and so what you'll see here is that there is a line attack, and then there's that kind of grayed out circle, and so what you'll notice is that when you click the button, the line is what happens first, and this pierces minions and stops in the first god hit, and basically impales them with this giant poisonous barb. And so what you'll notice is that if you drop it on the ground here, there will be a range around it, and so you can actually blow this thing up with a basic attack, Acid Rain, or when we get to the ultimate, we'll talk about it there. But you have those 3 options to blow it up. and it'll do damage and anti-heal to anyone hit by it. And that includes when they're impaled by the spike as well. So while you're impaled, you're anti-healed, and then after the explosion, anyone hit by the explosion is also anti-healed. But there's one more small feature that comes with this, and you know, those keen-eyed viewers might also be seeing it. If you impale a god and then explode the barb, they are rooted, and it's only the god that's been hit by the stinger that's rooted. So not so much CC here, but it is very, very strong in those one-on-one fights, especially when you can blow it up with other abilities as well.
Yeah, especially if you're laning against, you know, a lane that has a healer in it. It'll help you with those trades a lot to land that ability, because you're going to negate some of their ability to get that back mid-combat.
Because that's 10 seconds maximum of anti-heal if you're able to really min-max that time.
Yeah, the detonation and the time lodged into the god. So that's really cool. And so much utility, too. You got to love an ability that has that much utility, because it gives you a lot of room to play and learn how you can finesse and really get the most out of it. So like you said, min-maxing.
Yep, and to be clear, the spike will last either deployed or inside of whoever you've hit for 3 seconds. So you have 3 seconds to blow it up, and then after that time, it will just go away unless you explode it.
Very cool, too. Yeah, if it's just on the ground anyway. I don't know about stuck in a god. You can see the indicator of that circle kind of growing outward to indicate. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Yeah, gotta love the visual indicators on the map, so that because I don't count when I'm gaming. I'm screaming and mashing buttons. So super cool. The next ability is one that I'm really, really anxious to talk about, because this is just super new. That's Stalk Prey.
So, it's been a long time coming, but finally we have a god that makes their own stealth grass. And so this ability is so much fun, because you can really build your own jungle, more or less. And so as you can see here, our driver is demonstrating just the power of being able to stack up 3 of these guys. You can have 3 bushes at once, and each of them lasts for 3 minutes on their own. So what's going on here is basically you are stealth. But it's not your normal, everyday, average stealth. If someone were to walk into this bush or were to place a ward in it, you would be revealed. And so it works a little bit differently than your typical stealths in that way. And of course, if you were to attack, you would also be revealed. Another very special thing about this is that it works for your teammates as well. So you can throw one down around a fire giant, maybe catch someone off guard when they're trying to go ward it. That's a really fun way that we've been seeing it be used. And then additionally, for Martichoras specifically, he gains movement speed while inside of the brush, and then also for a couple seconds after he leaves. So this is mostly his escape mechanism. If he needs to get out, that's his runaway button, more or less. It's dropping this at your feet, doing a little juking around, and then getting the heck out of there. But the other small thing that this does is that if you are in stealth and you basic attack an enemy to leave your stealth, you're also applying max stacks of venom, so that's 8 stacks immediately with your basic attack. So that has to be revealing you from the stealth. It's not leaving and then doing it. You have to be inside of the bush and revealing yourself with that attack to get that 8 stacks right away.
That's a sneak attack. You gotta, if they don't expect you, you get it right off. So my first question is, you say it works with allies. Does it stealth enemies?
It does not. It is only for your squad. So enemies can be on top of it, and they'll see anyone who's inside of it.
Yeah.
But if you're not in it, you know, it's kind of a scary deal. You know, you could just walk up and face check the grass, but do you want to be doing that when the respawn timers are hitting 50, 60 seconds? It's a little bit risky to do.
I was about to say immediately, and you already said this, but I can just imagine, like, you just put them in 3 totally different locations around the fire giant pit, and they're coming up trying to posture, and they're like, there could be 5 of them in one of these bushes, and I have no idea which one it is.
It really creates really unique feeling engagements, not even just around fire where it's obviously like super strong,
just
but
like that, yes.
In lane, like if you based and came back to lane and you didn't see Martichoras go into one of these grass bushes, like there were plenty of times where I'd come back to lane, Lermy's ahead of me because she always is, and I'm like, if she's in this bush, I'm just dead.
It's just game over.
And you feel legitimate fear like walking near it. Because you know, unless you have a ward, you really can't check it very safely.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you can be in a playtest and get soloed and then come back to your purple, and Lermy and 2 of her allies are for some reason in it on top of my purple buff. I was already 2 levels down, but it's fine. It really sets up a lot of different gameplay scenarios that are really unique to Martichoras and really they're strong, and that's what makes it fun, is that it really does, it changes how you're going to play the game around this one ability in a really cool way, especially when we're at 125. This is 125 joining Smite, I believe. This is the 125th god.
Yes.
Finding a way to impact your whole game flow this many gods in is something that we're always trying to do, and I think that Martichoras does it really well.
Yeah,
I
another
agree.
small detail with this is that you can actually back in the grass. And
Yeah,
no
that's
one will
big.
ever know.
Oh,
And that gives us a chance to look at this back-end animation, which, by the way, super sick looking.
I agree. Oh man. Well, and all those totally theoretical stories that you were just telling, and many more that I can think. I mean, I'm just gonna use these to get back to land. I'm just gonna have them tactfully laid out throughout my
you can do
land.
that.
so
Yeah,
just
you
run
can.
So many options. I could probably sit here. We could talk about all the different ways you could use it for like another 3 hours, but we can't do that. We're just gonna. Yeah, it's up to y'all to make these up and then send us really awesome clips on Twitter of how awesome y'all are at using this ability to pull one over on your enemies. So super awesome. Let's get into the ult though. We love seeing ults. This ult is called Death from Above.
And that's certainly what it is. So Martichoras becomes CC immune, as you're seeing. He's going to fly up into the air for 3 seconds. And so this is basically an auto-fire, rapid-fire ability that is raining down these like poison, toxic bursts from the sky. And so you can move around while this is happening. You can change your aim. And of course, you can use this to run away if you really need to. But who's going to want to do that when you've got 12 bursts of damage, each one applying a physical protection debuff? And it stacks as well. So the more shots that you're hitting on an enemy, the longer this debuff is going to last, and also the more drastic this debuff is going to be, up to 40% physical protection if you land 8 of the 12 shots on a single target. So
It's a lot.
it's a big, portion of those circles that you do have to hit, but it affects your whole team as well. So any other physical characters that are following up on that debuff that you've applied are also going to be going crazy. So he's a bit of a team player, he's one of those characters that you might say, oh, he looks like he might stalk on his own, but he's okay with the team as well. He's owned up to it being the king and all.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And they just our driver just showcased how you can detonate the poison barb
Exactly.
as well with that ult. So super cool way to like get that anti-heal in and then proc it with your ult and then get the shred off and really just put something in,
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, this ultimate feels really fun because you just press 4 and then you're up in the sky and you don't have to. Our driver back there isn't slamming left click really fast in order to get all those shots to come out really quickly. They happen automatically. You get to just focus on your aim and
positioning.
making sure that you're landing those shots. And it's it really gives it this really unique feel. We have a couple of ultimates that get you up in the air like that, but Martichoras feels really, really fun for that rapid fire feeling instead of like Freya, who's 4 big bursts that you have to click up for each one. Having it be this machine gun that goes off by itself is
Yeah, as you'll see is a little bit of a theme throughout his kit. He's all about these small numbers that add up between his basics, between Acid Rain, between Death from Above. They're all these kind of little numbers that you wouldn't expect to hurt a lot, but once you start getting hit by a lot of them, they're going to add up, and they will do some damage.
Nice. Yeah, that's super cool. So, and just as we are done seeing the kit now, in y'all's experience playtesting and having gone through this so far, how's this character stood up? How, are there any crazy combos y'all have seen, or kind of what playstyle has Martichoras really brought in that you feel is unique to this character in y'all's experience so far?
Yeah, so as you can see, not a whole lot of CC, not a whole lot of movement in his kit, but he certainly has a couple of very unique ways to play safely or to self-peel himself, whether that's, dropping a bush on your feet, dropping Acid Rain on your feet, being able to really just hunker down and fight with his lifesteal for monstrosity if you absolutely need to. He has a lot of tools to stay in the fight, and he's one of those characters that will win you a fight or die trying.
Yep. Yeah, I think the big thing for Martichoras is that he is going to stand his ground and one of you is dying. Like, anytime you're starting a full-on engagement with Martichoras, he does a lot of damage, but it's very susceptible to incoming damage at the same time because of the lack of mobility, and it creates this playstyle that is really fun when you make the mindset shift of, I don't need to live. I need to do as much damage as I can before I go down.
Exactly.
That type of playstyle, the players who like playing gods like Freya, who are just, I'm down to just jump all our buttons and see who wins. That's kind of Martichoras, but in a physical form. And so I think that style of physical hunter, that all in, I'm going to out DPS you, but susceptible to getting, outnumbered and that kind of stuff is a fun, unique play style to the physical hunter class that I think players are going to be excited to play.
Not to mention, I can't wait to see people do a stock prey. That's
Right.
just
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be
So
such a
many possibilities.
So many things.
Because the fact that it affects your team adds a whole layer of there's a new interaction for 124 other gods or
Exactly.
whatever the number
Yep.
is. So again, I am so looking forward to PTS and live release both. The timeline on Twitter just blowing up with clips of y'all like 5 people hiding in a bush in solo lane level 1 or just some really cheesy nonsense. So please do it. I'm looking forward to it. But we've talked about it. Let's see some of the card arts as we get into it. Let's just see what the standard card art looks like. I just want to see it.
And there
Yes,
he is
please.
in all of his regal, venomous, beastly glory.
I was about to say.
Normally when a god is like smiling in their portrait, that makes them look like friendly and welcoming. And for some reason, I can't really pinpoint why. I don't feel very like welcomed.
Is it the skulls, the bones?
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it could be contributed to one thing. I just think I think aggro's very perceptive and just reading between the lines. So.
Yeah. I'm just getting the vibe that like that isn't a
He might eat you.
friendly smile.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things about Manticores is that, since some of them do have the capability to speak, a lot of it is through intimidation, and usually they'll eat their prey whole, leaving absolutely nothing behind, not even their money, their possessions, their belonging. They'll eat it all. But Martichoras here likes to keep a couple trophies to really be that intimidating, terrifying beast that we know of him through mythology.
You gotta love a king with an eye for interior design. So let's hear a voice line real quick.
For eons, the Manticores have been mercilessly slaughtered by the gods. Now, it is my turn to hunt them.
He's scary, man.
Crack job on the voice too. Like that just I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm seeing the face, I'm hearing the voice. It's kind of lining up. It's exactly what I think it should be.
Yep.
And like you said, intimidation is there.
100%.
100%. All right, so let's look at some of the new gods come out. They have these cool recolors. Let's look at some of those, starting with Imperious Martichoras.
Oh, this art is amazing.
Yo.
That is
So
horrifying. Look at
Yo.
the face.
yes, one small detail that we may have missed in the model turnaround that you guys are going to have to look for in-game is in some of his idle animations, he actually shows off this really terrifying jaw that comes completely unhinged. Because, how is he supposed to swallow people whole if he just has a little normal basic mouth? No, his whole jaw comes open. And it's terrifying. You might be able to see it here, in fact, if he plays
you
one
can
of his
definitely
idle
see how
animations.
wide the mouth is and all those teeth jammed in there. Oh, man.
Yeah, he's terrifying. But in the best way, he's scary, but he's got a little bit of a smile going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, not super welcoming, but
A grin a dentist would be proud of.
yes.
Cool, so let's move on. So this is the standard recolor. Let's move on to the Ascended skin, Ascended Martichoras.
Oh, and this is a bit of a throwback as well to his classic colors of being purple.
Yep.
His poison typically, in his base at least, was that green color, but we gotta do a little bit of a throwback to our OG.
A little bit.
And this purple looks so good on him, by the way.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Very cool little homage to the classic Manticore color scheme.
Yeah, and it looks so good. I'm a purple fan, so
Yep.
I'm all out here for it.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. It looks great.
Such a cool throwback. So, and again, Ascended skin, part of the Year 10 pass, so make sure you pick that up, because if you don't have the God pass, it will give you the skin, the God, the voice pack. It'll give you the whole 9 for every new God that comes out this year. So pick that up if you are so inclined. It is well worth it. But now we got to get into what I'm going to refer to now as the Learn Me Will Have Them Soon skins, the Mastery skins. So let's check the Masteries out.
Ooh.
Oh, that's so cool.
And once again, the mouth is terrifying.
Yep.
The stare, absolutely intimidating.
The fleshy bat wings are freaking me out a little bit.
Yeah, you're gonna get eaten in just a couple of seconds
Yeah,
here.
this
He's
is
only,
the victory pose. Like it's over. When he hits this, it's done.
Ooh, and look at those textures, by the way. Can we talk about just how cool it is to see those like nice metallic shines on all of those typically organic materials? Because this was an interesting challenge as well for our 3D art team to figure out, he doesn't really have many accessories to bling up to really make the legendary skins pop. But yeah, as you can see, it just looks so sick with the claws, the horns, the hair, the tail. I mean, you got everything here.
very gilded, very kingly too. It kind of fits the aesthetic of the king to have this gilded crown of golden horns and like the gold-plated claws and everything.
Yep.
It's just
And the diamond. I mean, can we talk about this diamond?
Dude, that texture, like, that is crazy.
That's super crazy.
It's really melding the organic with these like kind of gemstone like qualities that our mastery skins have, and this is one of the coolest diamond skins I think that we have, and just like the sheer blend that we've done here between those two materials, and he just looks shiny, man.
He just does look shiny. I think you hit the nail on the head. Absolutely incredible. So yeah, you've seen it all. You've seen some incredible stuff on this update show. We have the balance, obviously, and again, if you want to look over that, update notes are out. Go check it out. All the new skins, Magic the Gathering crossovers, Martichoras out. Well, soon, almost out. Y'all have seen him out in the wild now. Stalking the battleground will make its presence known. PTS on Friday, and in the game next Tuesday, which is just right around the corner. So only very few sleeps away. But it's been an incredible show so far. I'm looking forward very much to the second update of SMITE's Year 10 and of the Season of Monsters, bringing yet another horrifying monster to the forefront of the battleground. Excited to continue down this path and show y'all what's next when the time comes. But for today, that is everything we've got. Thank y'all for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
As always, incredible people to have here. They make me look good. That's why they're here all the time, is because I can just ask questions and they do beautiful work. So thank y'all so much. We look forward to seeing you on the battleground, and catch you later.
Peach it.
Your working day is complete. Please return to your vessels. The factory is going into shutdown.